What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, dude?
Man, we had the ending of an era officially, baby. So I'm feeling kind of cool. Mixed emotions a little bit. Just always that feeling whenever something becomes official that we're anticipating. But other than that, man, it's a beautiful snowy day right here in Pittsburgh, baby. So feels like it's a good day. But more importantly, how are you, my friend?
I'm getting sick of this snow. Really sick of it.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold in Pittsburgh. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man.
I like the fit too, man. Is this like the new you? You had a suit on last episode. You come in here, got your denim and your flannel. I mean, like, you're layered up right now. I thought you was like an Abercrombie and Fitch model for a second when you walked in this thing, man.
Nah, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, don't hype me up too much. Don't
sure?
set those expectations too high. It's Friday. Fridays, whenever you're at businesses and stuff.
It was roasting
toast,
school
right? Back in the day. Yeah. It was like Jean Day on Friday, sometimes.
Okay.
Well, you know what? You didn't go to private school?
I did not.
So
no.
Yeah.
See, I could wear jeans on Fridays?
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty dope,
we
though.
had uniforms. Like in grade school, we had to wear like collared shirt and khakis. And then high school, I went to a Catholic high school.
Mm-hmm.
We had to wear like shirt and tie and khakis. Yeah. And Fridays not typically, maybe we'd get it once or twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jean Day, you bring in $2, you could dress down.
So they charge y'all $2 to get the dress down. That's a slick little vibe, though. I like it, low key. All right.
You just grab a couple bucks off your parents.
Yeah.
A couple extra added to the lunch money they give you, and
I like it. No, I like that a lot right there, man. Shoot, but like I said, man, you look good though.
Honestly, though, dressing up or having that uniform wasn't that big of a deal. Sometimes
some people say it makes it easier.
It wasn't bad, because you just kind of grab the same stuff. It's just the shirt, the tie, and the shirts were really comfortable. They were almost like this. They were like flannel material. They obviously didn't have the pattern, but then like. Dude, I'd have my top button like unbuttoned. The tie would be loose. You'd have to have a tie. But I'm telling you though, like I'd have the top button unbuttoned, the tie's loose, and like I'd have like baggy ass Dockers.
And what about like shoes? Could you wear whatever shoes?
Sneak like Timberland. Some people would be wearing like moccasins and stuff. So it would be low key comfortable. You could make it that way. Okay. It wasn't that stuff wasn't technically part of the dress code. But it's like you're shelling out a lot of money to go to school. These people weren't complaining too much. They would just tell you, all right, get your tie up or something. It wasn't like, that strict.
No, I like it then. Okay. Yeah, I had no clue
There's
about
some
that,
history.
bro.
I had
I had no clue. Well, I appreciate you on that, man. Now I'm educated and I feel a lot better about it going forward, baby. So yes, indeed. All righty. I'm telling you, man, your outfit looks good, baby.
Thanks.
So let us know where you are tuning in from and we will get those shout outs going and get this show rolling. Let's go.
Luke Walker, he says, watching from class in Chapel Hill.
Hey, let's get it. I like it, baby.
Down in North Carolina.
Let's get it.
There's a couple connections of Chapel Hill to the Steelers right now. Not only people are talking about Sam Howell, who I think is overrated, but also we got a little topic later in the day, right?
We do. We absolutely do, man. So that's going to be crazy, too.
More NC. We got Jacob Malacio in the house, as always. Towles Levy. Also from North Carolina. Jeez, oh man. 910 Fayetteville.
All the North Kakalaki in the building today. Hey, man, don't forget. I thought it was somebody else. Oh, there it is. Jacob Malacio. He was the other one I just saw. 919 North Carolina in the building. Let's go.
Jason Hess walking to class in 814 State College. That's got to be terrible right now. That's got to be
Stay
terrible.
warm out there, friends. Stay warm.
Caleb Cole tuning in from Fort Worth, Texas, 817. Kenneth Beamer. Haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he's been in, but the chat's always popping.
Absolutely.
304 Harpers Ferry, West Virginia.
Like it. All right. On my end, I see David Dupree, DD Smalls. He's tuning in from that Gainesville, Florida. Lycothorpe, HD. Homestead, the 412 Pittsburgh. I like it. Can't forget Trina Still Diva tuning in from Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's the 404. Then you got Trenton, New Jersey. That's the 609. And then you better not forget about Honolulu, Hawaii, the 808. We got you covered in all three areas. Trina Still Diva, which we greatly appreciate. And then Lord Lex, Bangkok, Thailand. Says it's 9:35 p.m. there. Shout out. I would say, man, are you going to verify that timestamp or you just going to roll with it?
Yeah, I trust him.
I trust him as well. All right. And then I think this is Rianne Farber, the 785 Northwest Kansas. Or I think that's what NW Kansas stands for.
Yeah.
Okay. Northwest Kansas. I didn't know if that was actual, like,
Let's go with it.
Yeah, it just sound good, right? It sound like I knew what I was talking about. Yeah, she from Northwest Kansas. And then Jay Gray, the 704. I believe the 704 should be Charlotte, if I think so. Yeah.
You know what? You're right, because Byron Liverman is tuning in from the 704 too. He says Charlotte.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, the Queen City, man. I thought I could remember, back in the days, my old stomping grounds for a little feel.
Caden Sagan, 416 Toronto, Ontario.
Let's go.
We got Donald Copeland. It says Hill District, Blunt blazing.
Ooh, okay, that loud pack. I hear you, baby. Shout out to the roast and toast in the building. Let's get it. All righty. So, I guess with that being said, man, we'll hop into this.
I'm ready.
I like when you say you're ready like that too, man, because I need you to be ready today, man. Today is a you day, and this is not the right.
Nah.
I'm on the wrong thing anyways. Don't trip, bro. There we go.
It ain't about
now
me.
We got this thing rolling.
No.
You said what now?
It ain't about me. No.
What you mean? No one said it's about you. It's about 7.
You said it's a you day, though.
Yeah, as in like you are like the little of the big that we're about to talk about right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on now.
I'm associated.
It's a reason why as soon as the announcement was made official, everybody started saying, is Deke okay? Check on Deke. Where's Deke? Is Deke alive? Moats, have you talked to Deke today? Deke, have you seen Deke? Has anyone seen Deke? Is there a post out? Is there anything going on? There's a reason why the concern was directed towards you, not me. So when I said it's a you day, yeah, you the foundation of this thing, baby. You feel me? You the foundation. It's all good.
So what do you want to talk about?
I guess what was your reaction when the announcement came out? Because up until that point, I know you were still holding on to a little bit of hope that, he would return or he would go somewhere else.
No.
But either way, you were expecting him to, in some capacity, change what the overarching perception was going to be.
Nah, we all knew the signs were pointing in that
when
direction.
You say we, are you saying like all of us or like the fake people? Are you calling us the fake ones right now?
No, I think everyone knew. Like after his interview before that last Monday night game, the way he was talking there, and then we saw how we saw how he was interacting with the fans and the stuff that was put up on the scoreboards by the Steelers. And then even how he talked in some interviews after that. I don't know if it was the one before the Ravens game or the one before the playoffs, but he was talking about Mason and how he might have a better opportunity to show his leadership this offseason because Ben's not going to be there stepping on his toes or anything. So, yeah, all signs were pointing in that direction. And, the announcement, I guess I'm not surprised at the announcement happening. Just surprised it was that soon. I thought it was going to be delayed a little bit for whatever reason, because I heard some things about if he announces it later, it will help our cap space situation. But no, I mean, not too surprised. I mean, he deserves to retire too. He's put it all out there. I've said it many times, greatest Steelers quarterback of all time, one of the clutchest quarterbacks of all time, 2-time Super Bowl champion. There's not too much else for me to say that's kind of already been said.
Talk your talk.
I had that whole video that I posted on Twitter before that last Monday night game against the Browns. You could check that out. You could check out what I talked about after the wild card game, saying like, man, kind of sucked, end of an era. You just kind of stay in the moment. I put all my stuff out there. Like, I don't think there's too much to add.
Okay. No, I like it though, man. I'm just checking on you.
No, I'm good. Dude,
that's what you're supposed to do. You got to check on
it's
you
life.
people.
I mean, it's life.
Well, it's still it's a part of the process though. When you had something and have had it for so long, and then it's no longer there,
right?
It's normal.
I get what you're saying.
That's all.
I get what you're saying. It's life. It sucks. It's whatever.
So for me, man, I do agree with you a little bit. I was surprised at how early it came out. Love the video. I thought that as a whole, I mean, this new media version for Vin, man, I like this, man. So far, so good. Every time he drops something, it's been a hit. So
his vlogs.
Think about it, bro.
And whatchamacallit, those documentaries were actually really well done.
Yeah, so for me, man, I definitely like that. I thought that it was done very classy, very nice. I thought that he mentioned certain people that he should have, and was very. Hey, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. It was like I'll listen to certain names. I'm like, okay, all right.
I didn't see AB. I have to watch it again. I didn't see AB.
See AB either.
AB gave him the post though.
He did, man, but shoot. You already know how we feel about that right now. I'm just saying, bro. If you 7, like, man, keep that post over there, bro. You know what we were. This is your fault. But for me, man, I was definitely surprised at the time, and I thought that he would, let this linger on a little bit longer, not to an extent where you're talking about compromising your roster and things along that nature, especially when we already knew that Coach Tomlin said in his postseason interview that he was going to be operating as if Ben was already going to be retired. So we knew it wasn't going to affect that. But like I said, man, it was just a little surprising. But at the same time, I could understand him wanting to just get it out the way. I feel like when it comes to guys retiring, you got, one or the other. You either want to, you type it up, and you just keep holding it, keep putting it in the draft before you submit it. Or you got the guys who are like, you know what, man, I'm just ready to get it over with. And you just, bam, let's go right now, man. But like I said, as a whole, I thought that it looked good. It looked like he was happy and at peace with it, too. It didn't look like one of those, man, I'm saying this, I feel like I'm forced to do it, really don't want to do it. Like seeing the fan with him, the kids with him, man, I guess I liked it, man.
Yeah. I still borderline feel that way, that a little bit forced out, but at the same time, I think you're right. I think he is ultimately at peace, like wants to be a Steeler for life. Doesn't want to check out the scenery. Yeah. Grass is always greener type of thing, but by kind of flirting with another team or anything like that. Yeah. I don't really see it that way because it definitely seems like the Steelers were moving on.
Yeah, I got that vibe as well.
They're just like, hey, we're going with who we got. Because Ben isn't under contract. That's the difference between this year and last year. Yeah. What else should I add to this? I don't really know. I mean, I'm starting to see right now a bunch of these clowns saying, like, Eli Manning's better than Ben Roethlisberger, which is absolutely absurd. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I think it was, who was saying it? Some people were at me because I didn't see it. Some of these analysts on TV, they're already saying that. And I saw, who is it, Adam Rank on NFL.com. He ranked Eli Manning ahead of Ben Roethlisberger. Hey, this is starting to get hilarious right now. Seriously, these clowns.
I just hope one day. Actually, I don't. Because I like how it just makes you. You keep fighting that fight, man. You just keep fighting that fight.
These people are clowns.
Yeah, I focus on enjoying these moments of just Seven being in the spotlight, Seven having his moment. I don't want to.
Here's my problem. I can't let these people get away with this because if they keep doing
that's how you vibe.
I can't let these people get away with this because it's just not true.
I just don't want to steal your appreciation for moments, though.
It's not. No. I'm in a good mood. I really am. But maybe that's for later. Maybe that's for a week down the line. I put some of these clowns on blast a little bit more.
He just announced his retirement yesterday. And you're not even going to talk about his retirement and the good about him. You automatically sending your attention to the nobodies.
Oh, so you're calling them nobodies for me. Clowns. How about clowns? I like saying clowns.
Well, the only reason I don't like saying clowns is because if we're entertaining the clowns, what does that make us? That's all. You catch my drift?
Listen, maybe a week down the line or something, I'll make a whole video on it, calling these guys out and stating my case why it's just hysterical, actually.
I would agree.
But yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Like when people say Eli Manning, or if people say, I'm trying to think of another, not run-of-the-mill quarterback, but a guy that Matt Ryan, for example, if somebody throw him in there, it's like, all right, if that's what you feel, if that's, your mindset, then that lets me know, hey, you just stay over that area and you keep your thoughts in that little bubble over there.
Now listen, I think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. I definitely do. But it's not even a conversation between him and Ben. Ben way more consistent throughout the regular season. The numbers are way better than his. Plus the playoffs. The playoff success is there for both of them. But Ben has way more playoff success because he wasn't one and done all the time outside of his 2 Super Bowls too. Yeah. So there's so much to it. I'm not going to get into it, even though I probably went into it a little bit more than I thought I would. How about first ballot, though? I've been saying that. I mean, that's a no-question conversation for me.
Now, they said, what happens if Tom Brady retires this year?
It's still first ballot.
Okay, and Aaron Rodgers retires this year?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, they're all first ballot. They're all in that class.
I would agree. You
just put them all in.
I would agree.
What's unfortunate, though, they've been snubbing my man and disrespecting him throughout his whole career, so it could happen, and that would be a damn shame.
Man, I'm
Hall
not
of Fame would lose all of his credibility.
You bringing my vibe down, man. Stop with all this negative, man. Stop with all this negativity, bro.
Well, first ballot. How about that?
Stop with all this negativity, bro. Yes, first ballot.
Absolutely first
you already went from first ballot to snub to, it's disrespect. Like, God, dog, Deke. God,
chip on my shoulder. We're seeing all this stuff that ranks 5th in completions, 5th in pass yards.
So you notice everybody else We talking nice.
No.
On,
here's the problem. No.
This is ESPN, bro. This is the main ESPN. Not any of them little side channels you talking about. Not no ESPN2, no ESPN News, no ESPN 360, no NFL.com, no NFL.com TV, no game. We talk about the real people, bro.
Here's why I say this. Because not only the Eli Manning stuff was popping up, people were putting me in their mentions on Twitter saying like Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp were disrespecting him today. And a bunch of people like Colin Cowherd, they had like negative things to say about him.
But I only feel like it comes off negative when people are trying to talk about his all-time ranking. And we already said, whenever you're talking about all-time greats, all-time rankings, you're going to split hairs and somebody's going to feel slighted. Because the way you just said Eli Manning can't hold a candle to Ben's playoff success, people in New York are saying, boy, you are out of your mind, because what Eli did in the postseason, Ben technically has not done. And that is real. That's all. But
I disagree, but
well, I'm just saying the facts of it. It's certain facts that we can't overlook. Certain facts. That's all.
The flawed system of Super Bowl MVP voting.
That's fine. That's fine. But he also has the head-to-head 2 times against Brady, who was viewed as arguably the greatest quarterback ever. That's why people would make that case. I don't agree with it. But when you say what you said, a person on that side of it could be like, yo, why is this guy going to say this craziness? And having a moment like you. Instead, bro, I'm just trying to vibe out and think about Big Ben and the good stuff. We gonna get time to debate about where his, ending is in terms of all-time greats. But as a whole, bro, this is his moment. Not Eli's moment, not Skip and Shannon's moment. This is Ben's moment, man.
Well, fine. First ballot. If it doesn't happen, I mean, that's the biggest disrespect I've ever seen.
You can't help it. It's all good.
That's the biggest disrespect of all time. But anyway, all right, what do we want to talk about positively here? I thought what I was doing was positive.
You were, but it's all good, bro. It's all good. But that's your version of positive, so it's all good. It's the duality. It's the difference. That's all.
So what do you want to say about him?
Talk about your favorite memory, though. Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's the Super Bowl drive. You look back on that drive.
Yeah.
Dude, first play. We got a nice little shuffle pass out to the running back. Get a little gain. But since we had the worst offensive line in the league, we get called for holding. It's 1st and 20. We're backed up against the goal line. They get to Ben. He shakes off dudes. He's running around the pocket, finds Heath Miller, and then that starts the drive, and then the rest is history with the greatest throw in Super Bowl history as well. To Santonio Holmes. What's funny about that one, though, I don't know if you know this.
What's up?
Holmes dropped the easier one on first down.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Dude, it was literally wide open. Yeah. This was like Claypool type of shit.
You definitely told me that, bro.
Seriously.
You definitely
It was
told
wide
me
open.
That.
It was like right there.
Way
no one was
easier.
even around.
Yeah.
So then it goes to 2nd down, and then we see the greatest pass. I'm gonna say greatest catch because that was way more skill than Tyree's bullshit.
Oh, you ain't like the helmet catch? The
helmet
catch was filthy.
I like it, but that was just all luck. I mean, Manning throwing it up with his eyes closed like that, Tyree catching it. Hey, they both made the play, so you give them credit. But at the same time, that was more luck than skill.
It is funny, though, we're talking about the greatest throw and catch from Ben to Santonio, and then the person we're comparing him with is the guy that we were just talking about in terms of Eli.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy, bro.
Exactly. Well, they were both in the same draft class, so they'll always be compared to each other.
No, absolutely, man.
That was the obvious one. We talked about this a little bit ago.
I know, man. And that was the thing. I was like,
that walk-off to Mike Wallace sticks out because that was a huge game. That was a duel between him and Rodgers at home. Unfortunately, we didn't make the playoffs that year, but he threw for over 500 yards in that game. That one always sticks out to me. I mean, you could talk about the countless others. We even mentioned last podcast him going into Denver with that AC joint sprain in his shoulder with the torn ligaments and torching them up for over 300 yards with no help around him. This fake spike, the walk-off against the Ravens on Christmas Day.
That's always the one I love.
Extension,
right that's talking to me.
Even the runs in his early days, like not his rookie season, his second year where we won the Super Bowl, going into Denver and torching Champ Bailey on like a pump fake. The Colts game with the tackle that saved our season after Bettis fumbled. But even that game, he actually played really good in that game too. Like throughout, like we should have won that game by double digits. The defense played phenomenal too to hold Peyton. Yeah. And
especially during that time frame, absolutely. Bro.
Yeah, that was honestly, I'm telling you, that was honestly probably the Colts' best team.
I would agree.
They won the Super Bowl the next year, but that wasn't their best team.
Yep.
So many things out there.
It is a lot of them, man.
Divisional game against the Ravens back in, I think it was 2011. That was the one we went to Super Bowl against the Packers. We were down like double digits in the second half. Came back, made that nice throw in like 3rd and 20 to AB. He had that helmet catch down the sidelines.
Well, I don't remember it, but after the fact, going back and looking at it, I did see that. Yeah.
The scramble against the Bills on like 3rd and 20.
Hey, yo, here you go, bro. That's what you got to do?
No, that's I don't even know if that makes the top 20.
Like, that's just nuts, bro. Like, wow. Nobody brought up any Bill stuff. Nobody brought up any Bill stuff at all since 7 has retired. We just been vibing out. Nothing, out of the ordinary. Just being a good supporter of the movement. That was it, bro. Like, jeez.
What do you got? I just listed off a bunch.
Well, for me, man, I think my favorite one would have been my rookie year when I hit him in it. Oh, never mind. Wrong memory.
In a Bills jersey. Oh, man.
Actually, you saw that? Never mind.
I saw that. You phrased it pretty good. You're like, whether I'm on your team or I'm in competition with you, would you say, like, always have your respect?
Yeah, because that's the homie, man. Like, it's always love, man. But I did like that moment.
Well, you said that
was like one of my favorite moments, man.
You said that's how he respected you when you came over to the Steelers because you had 4 years with the Bills.
Yeah, so we had already played against each other. It was cool. It was a vibe, bro. Yeah, so I did like that. But for me, man, I always talk about that immaculate extension. That Christmas Day winning the division against Baltimore. I mean, just him in that game, we know what he was on. And it was in one of those gotta have it situations too, where we got the full version of 7. And when you talk about, and we talked about certain players, Eric Weddle, that whole storyline, that all season stuff like that, to be able to see him challenging him in certain ways with the ball, putting the ball in places where we're like, man, 7 out here getting disrespect for the day. Like, we like these type of moments. I think of that game. I think of both of the Broncos games.
Oh, yeah.
Regular season was at 15. Regular season Broncos game. And then when we played them again in the divisional round, man, 2 performances by 7 that, to me, even though they weren't his best statistical, because we know obviously the Titans, Texans, and Colts games, stuff like that, where he was going, 500 and stuff. Panthers, yeah. Like, we know those have the more statistical value. But for me, man, when I think of both of those Broncos games, I was against the number 1 rated pass defense. Like, we know what that defense did that year, even going into the Super Bowl, and, that route of what they did to Brady and then what they did to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But versus Ben, that was not how it looked in the least bit, man. So I always think of those moments as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm not going to lie. I'm probably tied. Well, no, I'm not tied. The Christmas Day is definitely number 1.
Okay.
But the close, like stupid close second, wild card against the Bengals.
Okay.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, you think about how he was playing, then for him to leave and you not know if he's coming back. And then for him to come back, game-winning drive,
after the Bengals go up,
and we're seeing what the arm looks like, bro, like, you talk about the emotional highs and lows of that moment right there, man, that's a game that I will never forget. Like, one of my, funnest memories on the football field. That
Joey
game
Porter,
right there, bro.
Low-key and MVP of that game.
Bro, I think of, how Ryan Shazier,
Jerry Porter.
Think about this. Hey, that Jerry Porter, like, after the game, you think about the lead-up, because we had already played them twice, and shoot, we're all like, yo, this is the game we want. We want to see these boys over here. And they talking the same thing back to us. And we know we got 7. And they don't got 7.
Mm-hmm. They had
McCarron, yeah. They had McCarron. And I was like, yo, we got 7. We got 7. Yo, we're good. And I just remember everything that was happening in that game, man. But for it to end the way that it did, with 7 coming in, orchestrating that type of drive, I mean, it was crazy, man. And the thing that gets forgotten, it's like, bro, 7, bro, like, he looked like he had one arm.
Oh, he was like pushing the ball.
Yes. He could not. And that was the part that was just nuts. Like, you talk about, it wasn't pretty. That was like that. I call it our version of the bloody nose bend, because we weren't here for that time
that's
frame.
Another
one. We weren't there
game.
for that time frame. So for us, we're like, yo, that's our version of that game where we saw that. We know what this looked like, but he still came back and did what he did. So for me, man, that's definitely one of my all-time favorite memories, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because that goes hand in hand with the Broncos game, because that happened next week. To see his arm go from that to, I think it was the first play of the game, he took a shot down to Marcus Wheaton.
Where literally that whole week, I told you that whole week, he would not, he wasn't practicing that whole week because his arm, he didn't do anything right-handed. Everything was left-handed. He was in a sling. He had an arm tucked in. And we're just like, bro, what are we doing? Like, we know what this finna look like. You know what I mean? Because at the time, who were prepping to go out there at quarterback. If it was not 7 that year. Yeah.
It's Landry.
Yeah. It was, We ain't feeling too hot
he
about
almost
that at
lost
the time.
us the Bengals game.
Yeah, we ain't feeling too hot about that, especially on the heels of how that Bengals game went. We were not feeling too good about it. But then, like you said, man, you even see it the day before the game, the walkthrough, and he's left-hand passes. Like, oh, God, it's bad.
Dude,
it's all bad, bro.
This is crazy.
He wakes up, and it's different, bro.
Against that defense, no AB.
Yes, bro.
No Bell. No D'Angelo
Make it
Williams.
make sense, bro.
With Marcus Wheaton. I swear, wasn't that 4th and 1 at the beginning of the game? Didn't he drop that? We took the shot.
I
think he dropped a touchdown.
Could have been.
I swear. Anyway, yeah, Wheaton, Hayward Bay. Obviously, Martavis had a really good game.
Yeah.
Those three.
Because you're talking about that, and I wouldn't even remember the Denver one like that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got hurt early in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got hurt. That's
I think
why I told
it was
my
the
pack.
first drive.
Yeah.
We took the shot, and we missed it, but I thought we got a drive going, and then it was 4th and 1. You know, Haley, sometimes we'll take a shot, and we did.
He said we play beyond the sticks.
And I swear Marcus Wheaton dropped that. That could have been another difference maker. But no, it ultimately came down to the Toussaint fumble because we were up, we were driving, we were in field goal range.
The Toussaint fumble and the fake sack.
Oh, yeah.
The Manning, those
egregious.
2 plays to me, yeah.
Absolutely egregious.
Those 2 plays. Man, but dude.
We want to go through the chats?
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely,
bring up some
man.
other things here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm at Let's Go UW.
Yeah, talking about morning Moats and Deke?
Is that the first one?
Yes, that is.
Yep, he says morning Moats and Deke from Indy. Just so anyone who wants to know, Steelers Depot is starting up their draft prospect reviews, and Muma was done first.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to compare your film reviews, Moats.
I like it, baby. I like it.
Oh, he didn't give any info where they got him ranked.
Oh, that's all
Maybe
good.
we shouldn't know.
I don't want to know. Because honestly, like, I don't like to know what other people, like, in terms of, like, their opinions of players. Like, if I'm going to evaluate, I don't want to hear anybody's opinion because I want to be able to go in with, like, a blank slate, clean canvas, make my reports, make my views, and then it's like, all right, now we can look up and see what everybody else thinks. But I feel like if I know going in, then I'm going to be like conditioning my mind to look for that or to highlight that more versus like if I just watch it, I'm like, no, I think this guy moves, or I think he can cover, and I think he can hit like this. That's all I want to do. You know what I mean? So,
Brett Fox, Moats and Deke, and fellow Steeler fans, good morning.
What is up?
Deke, I can't wait to hear the he ain't 7 though conversations next season. Am I going to be like that?
You
7 makes that throw.
You was doing it with AB, so I know you're going to do it with 7.
Oh, yeah.
If you was doing it with AB,
I pretty much do it every game.
We're going to do it with 7,
with
bro.
AB at some point. Claypool drops one. Deontay drops
one. AB would have caught that.
AB catches that.
AB catches that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Yes.
Damon Brown. 478. Macon, Georgia, in the building. Macon. My bad.
I was in Macon. I sound so bougie. I'm from Macon, and we eat pecans down there as well.
Hope folks in Pittsburgh are safe. Yeah, we're good. The roads are pretty good. It's just cold as hell.
Yes, super duper cold.
Crazy thing, a bridge collapsed on the day Biden comes here to talk infrastructure. Check on your peoples.
That is kind of funny, though.
Oh, Biden's in town.
I don't know if it's
this
today.
week?
I think it's this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joel Hernandez. Deke is right. And Eli isn't even close to Ben. Mr. 500 record, 27 interceptions in a season. Yeah, the stats aren't even close. Even though stats aren't the biggest thing that I rely on. In this case, though, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. You know what? It helps. Black Lavender. Nobody talks about how bad of a read that was on the play to Holmes, but such a great throw. Heath Miller was wide open and had an easy touchdown. I've never noticed that.
I haven't looked at it like that. I always just focus on the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Now you're going to give me something to go back and look at.
Young Poppy Benito. I bet on all the underdogs last week and was 13 seconds away from winning $350.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. It hurts.
Was it all the dogs? Bills?
Yeah, all dogs won
Niners,
except the Bills.
Rams, yeah.
Because they were saying this was the first week.
Bengals,
they were saying that they had never had it where every underdog team had won before. So I was like, man,
one
this
away.
is nuts, bro. Yeah.
Solo 1. Ben is tied with Brady for most comeback wins of all time despite playing 5 years less. 53 regular season comeback wins. Eli and Rivers are not in the same class. GOAT conversation Ben is with Brady, Rodgers, and Peyton Manning. I agree with that. Dude, did you see that stat I sent you?
Yeah, I did, man. Yeah.
That is a really good stat.
No, it is. It's dope as heck.
Very telling stat because we were limiting Ben's throws early in his career. He didn't have the 600 attempts like Breeze and Manning did throughout their careers. He was in the 400, 450 range, but he made the most of it. Getting to what was it, 50,000 yards?
Yeah.
The fastest?
Him and Rodgers, right?
That's he was the fastest. It was by a small margin, but he was a little bit over Rodgers.
Nah, it looked good, though, man. I definitely saw that.
That was the stat I was talking about that I was impressed with. I think it was underrated, if anything.
No, I would agree, man. But once again, that is something that does highlight him. And for the people that just make up claims, it's like, yo, you don't have to fuss and fight with that. It's like, bro, the numbers speak for themselves in that vein right there.
Those are ones that you just can't find easy, though. That's why I really like that.
No, I agree
pop
with
up
you
on Sunday Night Football.
But the reason why I like it is because it's like, if you don't know that and you're hollering all this other stuff, it just shows the person's ignorance for quarterbacks. It shows that person's ignorance for that debate.
Yeah.
And for me, I just don't like arguing with people that don't make a lot of sense. That's all. No.
Dave Shipley. I believe Ben made his receivers, not vice versa. Your thoughts? Yeah. I mean, AB's a great, though.
Yeah, I was about to say. He's the only one What about Emmanuel Sanders?
Yeah, he's probably the only outlier.
Probably those two?
Probably.
Yeah. Because let's say Mike Wallace, I mean, he, from my understanding, he never was this, like, he never got back to what he was here in Pittsburgh when he left, even though he was getting paid to go other places.
Mike Wallace.
I'm trying to think what other.
That's
what I was talking
about.
Holmes
completely fell off. I mean, he started playing with Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think anyone else.
And wasn't Holmes having the foot issues down there?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know if it was his last year here. I know he dealt with the foot stuff.
Oh no, the reason we got rid of him was weed. It was Martavis type of stuff. That was
so. Then the foot injury was in New York. Then
we traded him for a 5th-round pick, dude. That was unbelievable. That was one of the worst trades I've seen.
Yeah,
that was terrible. It was so bad because that season after we traded him, that's when we went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Who were we missing late in the game?
I remember
someone like Santonio Holmes. That kind of could have helped us on the last drive. I think. Because Mike Wallace dropped the ball on 4th down.
Oh, and they're bringing up Plax. He's a
No, he played good with the Giants. So maybe he's an outlier. He played good.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they go hand in hand. It's not like you can't have just great quarterback and bum receivers. We saw that even with Brady that last year in New England.
Brady,
you
Peyton
have
Manning.
to have a mix of good receivers and good quarterback play to get you where you want to get to. And then when you combine elite quarterback play with at times elite talent, it's gonna look like it's supposed to, but we can't diminish those receivers, man, just for the sake of Ben, which I understand why, but at the same time, it's just like they do kind of play hand in hand.
Dave Shipley. Oh no, he just said that.
Yeah.
Black and Mortar. Still feels surreal that Ben retired officially. Sorry, Deke. Yeah, it's the end of the era.
Like officially, and that's the part that was weird. Like, because up until then, it was never official. We all could have that little, kind of like how you were. Like, hey, man, maybe. It's a slither. Who knows? Maybe he'll come out of retirement.
That's the thing with these retirements. It's really easy to unretire. Yeah. Really easy. Breeze almost did it this year.
Seriously, bro. I mean, it's as simple as you pick back up the phone and say, hey, guys, I'm back on the market. I want to play. And then, your agent will see if you got any suitors out there. You go from there, man. Yeah. But since he's not under contract anymore, he has that freedom.
It's not like,
Yeah, whereas like if you retire while you still have a year or two left on your deal, when you come back, that team still has your rights. So for 7, I mean, if he wanted to come out of retirement next year, 2 years from now, he could do whatever he want. And he could sign wherever he wanted if that was the case.
So if our QBs are stinking it up next year, the return.
Oh, people gonna be hollering for that.
The return. Oh yeah, I'll be leading the charge.
For a fact, they're gonna holler for that, man.
I'll be leading the charge.
Yeah. So what do you think is next for him though?
Nothing. Golf.
Just chill, no TV,
golf,
relaxation,
hunting, probably. Yeah, that type of stuff.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. I don't see him going on TV.
I don't either.
I don't really see him coaching. If anything, it might be the Phillip Rivers type of thing. Maybe he coaches like a high school team or something, like behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I was trying to think.
I don't even know if I see him doing that though.
Yeah, because I was like, all his children are still very young.
Yeah, so probably not even.
That's what I was like. I don't think he would
unless
coach.
It's local. That's what I said. Unless it's like a local high school or something.
Dang, go on. Let me think, man.
People be moving their kids to that high school.
No question, they would, right?
If they think their kid has some semblance to be a quarterback.
To LaSalle, man. Hey, everybody's moving to that school district right there. Yeah.
Yeah, if some quarterback or some kid has some semblance to be a quarterback down the line, their parents are moving them there.
Like you throw a little spiral, even though it's 7 yards, it's a spiral. Oh yeah, he's in the full already, Ben. Coach him up. You know that, bro.
What are you thinking?
Man, for me, honestly, I low-key feel like it's going to be like what you said, kind of like the Brett Kiesel
Maybe some
route.
church stuff, too.
I can see that because Vance McDonald, I know Vance, remember when Vance came here, Vance built like the big church thing. I think it's out by like Latrobe area, like a whole retreat type thing. And I know that's like a big passion for both of those guys. That's why some of the things they bonded over the most. So, yeah, I could see him definitely getting more involved with that type of stuff. We obviously know, even when he was doing the Monday night broadcast, right? Or was that the Manning cast, right?
Did he jump on?
No, he didn't. No, I'm thinking about
Rodgers did. Brady was on it too.
When they showed Ben, he's talking with the Christian artists. It was the going into the wild card game. Those shirts that he has? No, going into the playoff game.
I missed it.
Yeah, because you brought it up. The FaceTime with no audio. Yeah. So like you can already see like he's already in that vein with that type of crowd and stuff like that. So I could see that as well, man. But yeah, I think it is gonna be some big chilling for that man.
That's what I'm guessing.
He deserved it though, right?
TV, no. I mean podcast.
Toby Mac, that was his name. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, no podcast, radio. I'm guessing
because he has his media, like I don't know if it's a media company, but he has some type
partnered with someone.
Yeah. So I know that's a venture, but I don't know. I don't. Yeah, this is interesting, man.
Yeah, we'll find out. That's my guess.
Come back
though.
to the OC,
just
man.
Low key. No.
He can't QB coach.
No,
he be QB coach.
No, you might give some time in between. That,
no,
if anything.
No, just hop right back into it. Kind of like what they said about Sean Payton, right? Sean Payton, you gonna retire from coaching from the Saints, and you just gonna hop right back on and coach with the Cowboys next season. That's what they want.
That could be the loophole.
That's what they're saying right now. That could be the loophole.
As QB coach, he benches Mason.
That's it, bro.
He benches Mason and throws on the jersey, and then just looks at Tomlin and says,
"I'm back." Like Jordan with the 4-5. Think about Jordan did it. Jordan left.
Ben wears what?
Jordan left, played a little baseball, came back with the 4-5 on him.
What's Ben wear? 17?
What was his college number? No, his college number was 7.
It's always 7. Yeah.
High school number?
I think it was 7.
Rec ball number.
I don't know that one.
You don't know his rec ball number?
No.
Come on, man. Come on, Deke. You let me down right there.
Fake fan.
Yeah, I can't believe
Sorry.
How you not gonna know Ben's
rec ball? I think it's always been
bro?
7. He said Elway was his favorite player growing up. That's why I picked 7.
Did Elway wear any other numbers then?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say maybe if Elway has like a college number that was different or a high school number, he'll bring that out.
It'd be like 17. I see like 15.
Yeah,
15. That'd be like the 4-5 jersey, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he just need just that one-off vintage. Like, oh, that was a special moment in time.
Do we officially retire his jersey?
Well, right now we only have 2 other jerseys officially retired.
I know that. I think you do it though. Like no one's wearing 7 ever.
I guess my only question is, how do you retire 7 without retiring 12?
Right, that's true. So maybe they should do it together. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, because I know
Bradshaw's getting up there in age.
That's what I'm saying. But I know the biggest reason why they say they don't start opening that box is because where do you stop it? Mel Blount, his number isn't even retired.
Lambert for sure too.
Like you think about those are 2 of the greatest defenders we have ever seen. Like the same way we talk about Ben being in that conversation as one of the all-time greatest. Mel Blount, Jack Lambert.
Has anyone wore Ham's number either? Because if you're gonna say Lambert, Ham's got as much of a case too.
Yeah, shoot. Even I know Webster. They don't put his number out there, but he's another one.
Yeah, maybe just do it all together. Like we should just come to our senses and do it. Because no one's gonna wear those numbers anyway. No.
Typically, no, unless they ran out of numbers. That's the only problem. But when you get to doing all the retirement of jerseys, that becomes 43. An issue. Yeah,
you gotta do that one too.
All right,
Bus.
What about Debo? Debo leads.
He's already gotten it.
Debo's the Steelers' all-time sack leader right now. Think about that.
Loudermilk 92. We've already had
Ola.
Ola.
But I'm saying it's like
no one's worn 86 though, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Rico had 84.
Yeah, AB's already out.
And you can't retire ABs just because of all the. No. Yeah, you just can't do that.
No. Yeah, there's numbers out there.
That's
What's that? That's probably around 10 we just listed off.
Like, we're going to run out of numbers quick, man.
Well, they did switch up the rules, though, a little bit.
No. Not in the sense of, this guy can't wear that number, that guy can't wear that number. I'm just saying, like, man, well.
Now it's more available to other positions, though, at least.
True.
I think it's time. I think you do the Ben Bradshaw thing. That'd be kind of cool.
Bro. I just, it took him a minute to retire even Joe Green's number, bro.
When did that happen?
When I was here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So now they're more open to the idea, though.
Like,
now I think I didn't know if it was like back in the 90s or 80s, and then they just stopped. But if they did it recently, that's maybe what gets the ball rolling. They should do that. I mean, Ben and Bradshaw, do that together. That'd be really cool.
We'll see. We will see, man.
I'm calling for it.
I know you are. I'm just glad you at least said Bradshaw as well.
I know. I agree with that. Like, you're right. If you do 7, you got to do Bradshaw, too, for sure. And then, Lambert, Ham, Blunt. There's Polamalu. There's a bunch of other guys.
Like, the fact that Troy's never is retired right now. Like,
no one's going to wear that. You can't wear that.
Why isn't he retired yet?
So just retire. That's my point.
Yeah,
like,
why are we waiting so long? They said 32. What about Franco Harris? Isn't it?
Yeah.
He got a whole statue at the airport.
True.
Swan, Stallworth.
Swan's already been worn, though. Same with Stallworth.
Yeah. But if we starting to talk about retiring numbers, that has to come back up, right?
Well, if they're not retired, I guess Hines ain't getting retired.
Because if we're talking about Hall of Famers, like, it don't get no higher than these guys we talking about, right?
Yeah. Because 88, that was DHB. Yeah. 82 was already Randall L.
Yeah.
Yancey Thinkpen was 82. Actually, he was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm calling for it, though. I'm calling for at least that. Do 7 and 12 thing. Yeah. And then other numbers, I think Lambert, Polamalu's got to be on that list. Yeah. And you talk about Blunt. At least those guys.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, though, man.
We can have more debates, dude. That'd just be more topics.
No question, bro. No question, man.
Does deserve to have his jersey retired? See? Does this guy?
Like, that's legitimate,
more content
man.
for us.
That's legitimate, man. Absolutely. Like it. Like it. And Quincy Kaufman, I appreciate you. He says, please, thumbs up, like the video for Deke and Moats. Yeah, we appreciate that, man. It's about 300 something in here. I'm sitting at about 89, 90 likes. Yeah, you're right, man. Thumb it up, thumb it up. All righty.
Read some of these chats real quick.
Yeah, and then after that, man, we'll go to this next topic as well.
Okay, we got Solo 1. Deke, can you see Ben coming out of retirement if TB calls it quits to go and play with his old buddy Bruce Arians?
That would offset his Hall of Fame year so he could be the headliner. You know, we all know, if Brady retires this offseason, Ben ain't the headliner. We know that. We need Ben to be the headliner, bro.
I don't think he cares about that.
You care about that.
No.
Yes, you do.
I care about him getting first ballot.
Think about this.
Because they're all great. Like him, Brady, and Rodgers. They're all great.
You were bothered enough that when you came in here, you still was, you trying to fight for him. You got your shield on.
Yeah.
If Brady retires and they going in that same hall, nobody's going to talk about 7. It's going to be the Brady show. It's going to be the Brady parade. It's going to be the Brady. You're going to be over here like, bro, how y'all snubbing Ben? Like, Ben get a 5-minute feature. Brady got, 2 months worth of just documentary content just keep coming out over and over and over and over. We know that's how it's going to be, bro.
Nah, I just think he should be first ballot.
Mm-hmm. You say
Brady
that.
Deserves
you
his
say
respect.
That until he gets snubbed.
Ben deserves his respect. So does Rod. Like, those are greats. Those are the guys I grew up with as quarterbacks.
You say that.
They all deserve the respect.
You say that, bro. But it's going to be different when you feel like your guys are getting the respect. Because it's going to be very, very disproportionate, bro. We know that.
I'll be more calm then, I think. That'll be, 5 years down the line?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be good, man. As long as he gets in first ballot, doesn't matter. Yeah. Just like in the actual games, Ben was just like, I don't care about the stats. I just want to win.
He doesn't. You care, though.
Huh?
He doesn't care. You care.
Bro.
Yeah,
his career speaks for itself. No. I don't need all that extra stuff. It's cool.
But you do, because you bring it up a lot,
first ballot, that's all.
You bring it up a lot, though, bro.
What?
The stats. You can't say you don't care about them, but you care about them.
When it helps, I bring them up. Can you see it?
Can I see?
Can I see that happening? I don't think, dude. I don't think. I mean, there's the sliver of % chance. Mm-hmm. But no, I do think he's genuine in saying, like, listen, I want my legacy, Pittsburgh only. Like, that's a big deal, too. Whenever you're looking back 10, 20 years, isn't he the highest tenured quarterback at one place?
Yes, because everybody left. Yeah, Brady left.
Brady was until he
left. Yeah.
Manning left. Rodgers could probably be coming up on that.
He's the next go around, but everybody else left. Talk about Favre left. Peyton never. Not Peyton. Breeze down in New Orleans. He never started out there. He started in San Diego.
Elway, but I think Ben just has more years than him.
Yeah. Aikman didn't go as long.
Marino, same thing. Probably more years.
Yeah.
You're right with Aikman. So, yeah, I think there's something to that.
No, I would agree with that. And as a player, we appreciate and respect it because we know, number one, how hard it is to stay with one team. But then to still, like I said, have all your teams always be competitive as well. Never had a losing season. Like, as much as we talk about that with Coach T, that also goes for 7 as well. When he was a starting quarterback for a full year, like, we know what he was going to give you. And that's the other thing where it's like, to do that consistently every year with the same organization, you think about just how much turnover is on that roster. I mean, every 5 to 7 years, realistically, it's practically almost a new team. You know what I mean? Just in terms of how many guys are no longer there. But it's like, for him to always have been that constant through all of those changes and still keep that team relevant, man, that speaks volumes. And that's one of the things as a player we respect even more so. It's like, we talk about the toughness, but that right there is special because that's not easy in the least bit to do, man.
And if I'm right about, see, here's where the sliver of chance comes from. It's if I'm right that this season got hijacked by the coaching staff and the organization, you could see him being like, I still got it. And then Arians' connection, that's where the chance is. But no, I do think he's more grateful, if anything, at this point, and wants to leave with the only Steelers type of legacy. That's my thinking with it.
I'd agree. We got 3 more chats, and after that, man, we will start the next topic.
Dave Shipley, at best, a porcelain statue at the airport. Is he talking about Franco?
Because you're saying that Ben should at least get that if they don't retire his jersey.
Wait, hold on. A porcelain statue.
I mean, that's what Franco has. Franco has a statue.
What kind? Is it porcelain?
Yeah. That's like that, like, glass, shiny, yeah.
Okay. Well, his is based off that Immaculate Reception.
Yeah,
right?
so Ben's could just be putting the... when he does that thing.
That's kind of weak.
He ain't got a good signature move. Tell him to get a better signature move, bro. Hey, or 2 gloves on him.
2 gloves.
Get him that one, or is this the Rodgers? I saw Rodgers doing this. Does Ben do this a little bit too?
Yeah, he does that too.
So that's like the all quarterback thing. That's what
I think it is.
All right, so he can give him that then. But 2 gloves on his. we want glove Ben.
Yeah, we don't need the porcelain statue. Just retire the number.
Nah, man, porcelain statue.
And then Bradshaw.
Just in case, tie us over until we retire.
Does anyone have bronze statues or gold statues around here? I don't think anyone does.
The Chief.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
I think that's it. So I don't think it's really a thing we do.
So that's what you say. You get the porcelain.
It's cool that the Harris one out at the airport, but come on, we can't be doing this for as a consistent thing with players now.
This is the first time we brought it up.
Just do it with the Immaculate Reception.
But this is the first time we brought it up. This has been. This is different, bro.
No, I'm good.
They said Mr. Rogers has a statue as well? Does he? I don't know.
Probably.
He might. Yeah, I don't know.
But in terms of sports figures, well, particularly Steelers, because Clemente has one. Is it Stargell and Mazeroski?
At
PNC.
PNC, yeah.
I could be wrong on that. It might just be Stargell and Clemente. I don't know if Mazeroski got one.
Is that it? Because no one in front of
Do we have
PPG.
If there was, it'd be Lemieux, but I don't think he's pushing for that because he's been the owner, but now he's still part owner. He's not that type of guy.
Brown the owner now, man. Y'all better chill out, bro. Let's get it.
Hey, man, as long as you make good moves.
Hey, that's the truth, right?
Seriously. As long as we keep winning, I don't care. Darius Mayo, Master Moats. I'm feeling the DMX shirt. Rest in peace.
Dark Man X, baby. Y'all know what it is, man. I was just feeling him this morning, bro. I don't know why. I just woke up like, it's a DMX day.
Yeah, it's a good call.
DMX shirt, man. Little vintage threads. I like it, man.
Hannibal 090. Give Ben a statue at the stadium instead of retiring his jersey. I'd say have one player pulling on his jersey with 3 players laying on his feet and him jumping over them.
I could see that. Or like him stiff arming some. It's got to have multiple people on him because that's 7. Maybe even throw a little blood coming out the nose.
Yeah, the one that sticks out for me with that is Jaguars back in 2008.
Okay.
That was when we won the Super Bowl, but there was a game. I'll have to pull up the highlight maybe. Maybe I'll do it after this podcast and show you. But it was the final drive. I mean, he's getting ripped down. Throws a perfect dime to, I think it was Hines across. It was either Hines or Heath running across the middle. It was really dope.
I like it.
Dave Shipley. The only statue is the Chief. Yep.
I just mentioned that. I can.
Yeah, I think you retire the jersey though. Him and Bradshaw. Do it. Do it in the next couple of years.
We will see.
Ceremony, halftime.
Okay.
Something like that.
I like it. All righty. So next thing we're gonna talk about, man, is playing a little GM. Early all season GM right now, right? So before we could get into the full, version of what a real GM would do in terms of who we want to sign, who we don't want to sign,
right?
What's more important positionally and things like that. I said, man, first we have to get our baseline. So to start this exercise, today we're focusing on the current state of the Steelers. We're going to talk about, if I was a GM, if Deke is the GM, 3 things that we currently like about this team. And then we're going to also reflect on 3 things that we think we need to address this offseason, right?
Something you need to look in the eye.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because, like I said, you can't talk about, I want this player and that player, and we don't even know how we rank the issues or even if we think that is an issue. So, let's have a little fun with this thing. And also, 11 o'clock for the call. We pushed it back.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. He was having a little phone issue, so we're good.
That works perfect then,
absolutely.
Right?
Heck yes. We knocked this out right here. All righty. So, to start it out, for me, man, the 3 things that I currently like about this Steelers team is I like their young talent. I think that when you talk about guys like Naji, Pat, Deontay and Chase, Alex Highsmith, Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, I even throw in guys like Presley Harvin, Cam Sutton. I wasn't sure in terms of where you classified Edmonds, TJ, Minka. In terms of if you still, or even Keller, if you view them as young guys or mid-tier guys just because of their age group. But as a whole, I think that this team does have a good amount of young talent on offense, defense, and in special teams as well, which I think is really key. The next thing that I currently like about this team is the pass rush. I think, man, when you got a guy like TJ, you got a guy like Alex Highsmith already in-house, you got a guy like Cam Hayward already in-house, those are 3 guys that can win. Those are 3 guys that can run it up in terms of getting sacks. If Highsmith is the minimum of those guys, he finished with 6, 7, I think it was
6.
6, and he had the one in the playoffs as well. Granted, it doesn't count on the regular season total, but he still got home a lot.
Still play good, yeah.
Cam Hayward, double-digit sacks. We know what TJ did, tying the single-season sack record. To me, this pass rush I love because it just is one less thing we have to worry about. And it's such an advantage for us that even if our back end goes through a little bit of a transition, because obviously we have a Kello who we don't know if we're going to get signed. We got Joe Hayden. We don't know if we're going to get him signed. We could lose both of those guys. I don't think it happens, but it could. Either way, having pass rush like that will make that a little bit easier of a transition for us. And then the last thing is the cap situation. We talked about what the Green Bay Packers are dealing with, $40 million in the hole. We are the opposite of that. We're flirting with being the team with one of the most robust caps.
That's after giving TJ the mega deal.
Absolutely. So when you talk about the order of business of, okay, guys, we need to have signed, but at the same time, having the flexibility to still go out and get new talent through free agency, our cap situation has us set up perfectly for that. And when I think of what we were able to do a year ago, now granted, we didn't love all of the moves, but the moves that they did make, we did like a lot. Trey Turner, we like that move a lot, and I think, I forgot who's the other guy we brought in. Oh my, damn, I'm drawing a blank on him. But
I don't know if you count the Akello move, but bringing in Melvin Ingram.
That's the other one. Melvin, that was the other
great
one.
Move.
Yeah. So during the offseason, think about it. We didn't have a ton of money and we were just kind of making it work. Even the Juju thing, we're going to get you the voidable years. That was that offseason, right?
Ben's contract.
Whereas now we don't have to worry about that. Now we have the resources, the cap space, and the flexibility to, if we want to go out there and be major players in free agency, we can be major players in free agency.
We have to.
If we want to say, we're going to take care of all of our guys in-house and focus on the draft, we still have that luxury. If we want to trade for a guy and take on a larger contract, we have that flexibility as well. So I love the cap situation, especially in a year right now where we could have to make some mass changes. When you talk about a quarterback retiring who's been there for 18 years, you've never had to worry about it. Now we're going to see, but at least we have the cap flexibility to do those type of things. And before you go, I meant to also say this in the chat. Let us know, too, the 3 things that you guys currently like about the Steelers. 3 things you currently like about this Steelers team, okay? I like when you type, too, bro. You type like a little hacker, bro.
All right. Well, I put that question out there to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So my 3 things, kind of similar. Actually, I got some differences, though.
Okay.
Not in a bad way.
It. Let me hear GM Deke.
So first one, I agree with you on the edge rushers. I have TJ Watt and Highsmith. Combined last year for 28.5 sacks. How about that?
It's filthy, bro.
22 and a half of them came from TJ.
It doesn't matter. 28 and a half sacks is filthy, bro.
So Highsmith had 6. But I actually thought...
But we're not going to bulk it. 6 is still, bro. 4, like, that's good.
That's something. And actually, I think he left probably 2 or 3 sacks out there. But at the same time, he helped a lot in the running game, too. Had a ton of tackles for loss. Was getting pressures. We saw the impact he had in the wild card game. So Highsmith is on the right trajectory right now. Hopefully he can get double digits next year. And TJ Watt, I mean, he's going to be deep. There's no question about it. He's in the prime of his career. So that's something that we could hang our hat on going into next season for sure. I don't think that's something we need to address outside of maybe drafting a guy late to have as our third edge rusher.
Yeah.
You know, some talented guy. Well, we had him in Quincy Roche and we let him go. Yeah. We had him.
Well, we had Melvin Ingram first.
That's true too.
Then it was Quincy, but it was never Quincy.
We'd still be in this spot though, even if we kept Ingram, because I'm assuming he'd go somewhere else.
Well, we would have never known how the season would have played out. That's all I'm saying. And the same with Quincy, we would have never known how he would have developed, because it wasn't going to be that he was going to beat out one of those 3 guys. That's kind of how I looked at it, man.
I would have liked to think he would have beat out Tuska, right? Throughout the season.
I said one of the 3 guys. Because there wasn't a Tuska while
know,
Ingram was there. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was only 3. It was a 3-man rotation.
And I think I was wrong. I think we were trying to keep him for the practice squad, but someone picked him up.
The Giants did.
Because I was like so disappointed. I'm like, why didn't we just keep him for the practice squad? I think we were trying to do that.
Because they were saying
because Jameer Jones did technically beat him out. That was one of the
highlights from Patrick Graham. Remember when I was talking with the Giants postgame guy? He also talked about that with Patrick Graham developing talent, and actually specifically mentioned Quincy Roche. He was like, yeah, the guy that y'all cut, he made him actually look really good out here.
Yeah. My next one is just a single player. I'm going to say Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if last year was his best season so far, but I do think it was really important in terms of his growth, because we questioned his physicality a lot after those first 2 seasons, specifically 2020, because he was missing some tackles early on, and we didn't really see a lot of what he was doing in 2021 in 2022 in terms of being physical, making really clutch tackles in the second level first. Like, he was saving some of these runs from going to the house, like tackling them at like the 5-yard line, the 10-yard line, 15-yard line. Now, that's more of an indictment on what we were doing in the front 7. But he had that. But also, he jacked some people up.
Oh, he definitely did,
with his pass deflection and stopping people from making a catch. These are things we weren't seeing. But he's in the prime of his career, too, like TJ Watt. So that's something we got in our back pocket, too. We're probably going to give him an extension this offseason, I would think. But, yeah, he's a staple for our defense, someone that we could really rely on. So that's my second. My third, you might be surprised I say this, but Mike Tomlin.
I like it.
Mike Tomlin. Yeah, no losing season type of thing. I think we're going to be in the mix. Like, no matter what. Always. We're going to be in the mix for the playoffs, whether we're Super Bowl contenders. I mean, that's going to rely a lot on the quarterback. If Mason surprises us, if Haskins develops and reaches his potential, if we bring in someone, like, that's going to be a lot of us going from playoff contenders to Super Bowl contenders. We're going to be very dependent on that. But as we sit right now, if we make some of these moves you're talking about with the $40 million cap space, I think we can have a really good roster. Yeah. And with Tomlin at the helm, we saw what he did in 2019 without Ben. We were 8-8. I mean, we probably should have finished 9-7, but to get to 8-8 was actually not insane, something to sneeze at, because we were 0-3, then we were 1-4,
then got up to 8-5.
Now, granted, we had looking back, it was kind of like an easier schedule, but we beat some tough teams. Like that Rams game was a tough one. They were actually supposed to be a pretty dynamic offense at that time.
Yeah.
Now, some people could say, "Oh man, he was carried by a franchise quarterback throughout his career," but no, I mean, I could see that. I could see that because I'm a Ben guy. Like if I'm gonna lean one way or another, Ben was a big part of like these last 18 years and the success. At the same time, the 2019 shows me something. Yeah, no, absolutely. Sure. And I do like the fact you brought up Coach Tomlin. The only reason I didn't bring him up, partly because I'm a little he's not on my happy list right now. Right. I think that whole comment, man, about him being called the D isn't rubbed me the wrong way of lately. I'm sorry. I'm with you. So I was going to put, and then I couldn't say coaching because I'll just blanket staff, say coaching staff. But then I'm like, nah, because we don't know who our DC is right now, and I really don't like our offense coordinator situation. So I can't say the coaching staff. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I felt like I found out, like, Santa Claus won't Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy won't real. And it was like, he's been calling. It's like, oh, how could you? I trusted you. I thought this was butts. We was over here like, oh, it's kind of like a Picasso-ish. It's abstract. That's what was calling it. And finally it was you? Oh, man.
That's all.
I'm with you. I'm not thrilled about some of the recent news, and I do think some of the criticism is kind of warranted. At the same time,
but you can't. Yeah, you hit it.
I think he's a good guy to give the keys to going into whatever the hell is going to happen with the Steelers organization these next however many years.
I do think that he still has shown that as much as, Ben was a big part of his success, he was still a big part of Ben's success as well. We talk about certain matches, kind of like the Belichick and Brady situation. It's like, sure, if you take one from the other, can either be successful by themselves? Yes. Can both win by themselves? Yes. But when you put them together, it can get special. And I do think at times it was special when you're talking about that relationship for that long as well. Because once again, both of them guys were married for that. Like, that's crazy to me, man.
Should have won more.
They should have, man.
Should have had at least a third or a fourth.
At the same time, I don't walk away from that relationship feeling like I was let down. Like, when I think of McCarthy and Rodgers, I can see people might be feeling like, yo, man, they left some out there on the table, man. They should have went back to at least one more, at least, did something. Whereas like with Tomlin and Ben, I'm like, yo, could it have been more? Sure. But at the same time, I still feel like I got enough from it. Like, where I feel like, yo, this was still a top marriage right here. So, yeah. But I like that.
So many other outside factors in terms of personnel. Now, I don't know how much Tomlin had influence on that, but obviously Colbert is the GM. Personnel, specifically on defense during like the Killer Bee era, and also some of the injuries we've talked about.
All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to read through some of these regular chats in terms of, the three things that people like about this current state of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So starting out with Yun Rico. He says TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward. Malachi Espetia says he likes the outside linebackers, the wide receivers, and the D-line.
I got a good one here.
Go for it. Yeah.
This is from Young Rico. It says young offensive weapon, so he's with you on that. For two, just kind of includes some staples on defense, says Cam, TJ, and Minka. But then third, he says Danny Smith and Boz.
No, I like him. Yeah.
Boz is a good one.
Absolutely.
That's not a position we got to worry about.
Yeah. And I think we've seen continuing now that Danny Smith knows what he's doing outside of contrary belief, so I do like that, baby. All right. Rianne Farber. Rianne says the rookies, turns to Naji, Pat, Loud.
Oh, yeah. Pat's a good one. Pat and Naji would be good ones to include.
Also includes TJ and Cam as leaders on the defense. She likes that. And then the last thing she says is the Wizard of Boz. I like that, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as we've seen, I mean, it was a playoff game that was lost behind special teams. Playoff games that were impacted largely by special teams. We can see the importance of it. And I do feel like for the majority of the season, we really didn't have to concern ourselves with it. Now, we know we had the punting hiccups for a little while, but as a whole, we were, efficient. We won games, we did. We won games behind our special teams unit. Like, that's the truth of it, man. Whether we're talking about blocks, whether we're talking about field goals, I mean, as a whole, I do like our special teams unit. Yeah.
Trini Steel Diva says youth, edge rushers, and then kickers. Says kickers. We only got one, right? Unless she's talking about Harvin.
Kicker punter. Kickers punters.
Harvin taking that next step.
Kicker
She's
punter.
Confident.
Well, Harvin did kick off this year, didn't he? The Boz game. Browns. The fake punt, the fake pass, right?
Oh, his kick was bad. He had two of them. One was really bad. Yeah. The other one wasn't bad.
But because that was early.
One he
in the
kicked
season.
Out of bounds, right?
Heck yeah. Yeah, that was funny, bro. The Boz play got smashed. Ooh, yeah. That's my homie, though. All love. All righty. So now let's transition to three things that we think this team needs to improve upon, or three areas that we want to address this all season. That's what we'll, ended with for this part of today's GM discussion. Like I said, we're going to keep building this up as this all season continues to progress. Three things I currently don't like about this team, and I think needs to get addressed in a hurry. The O-line. The O-line, honestly, I feel like is in a worse situation today than it was a year ago at this time. A year ago at this time, we still had DeCastro. We were losing Pouncey. We figured, hey, Al's probably going to walk, and that's fine. We we said we could draft a guy, we'll be good here. We were anticipating Banner coming back, and we thought that we pretty much had
At least you had the Castro,
of the
maybe.
five, right?
And he was hurt throughout 2020.
Correct. We thought at the time Dotson had played really well, so everything was looking good. We said, okay, even if you lose Matt Filer, you're still going to be able to get a comp pick for him in return because he's probably going to get compensated nice. So we felt good about a lot of stuff. And it was also the optimism of, hey, man, we're about to get way better. Fast forward, 12 months from then, and we're in a worse situation right now. I'm trying to think, who do I feel the most confident in the offensive line? Dotson. And at the same time, that doesn't even make me feel as crazy confident because he took a step back this year in a sense. Dan Moore, I thought at times played well, but he still has a lot of work to do. I think that he still needs to have somebody to compete with this year, whereas last year he really didn't have competition.
Yeah, throughout the season.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then center, right guard, right tackle. That's all open. That's all question marks right now, man. So that part for me, man, I really don't like about our offensive line. I do think we have good depth still. When you talk about your J.C. Hassenauer, your B.J. Finneys, your Joe Hagues, I like those type of players because they even
some of those dudes are on 1 year.
Correct.
We got to bring them back.
Yes, but they're low risk. They're easy to bring back guys. So for me, I like the depth because I do think that those guys can spot start. I do think those guys can get you out of stadiums if somebody goes down. I just don't like them for 17 games as a starter. But if we already have the depth part, now we got to focus on the actual starter guys. And that's the part for me where I'm just like, I don't like that current situation for us. Second thing that I don't like is our inside linebacker situation. Who are our best guys? I don't know. Who are the guys that I want to start next year? I don't know. Because for as much as I can talk myself into Devin Bush, I have a lot of reasons why I could talk myself out of it. With Robert Spillane, as much as I could talk myself into it, we know he is very clear cut of what he does well and what he struggles with. Joe Schobert, is he even on the team next year? You know what I mean? Like, those are some of the things because we know his cap situation and the way his contract is set up, it makes for an easy out.
Oh, yeah. We should definitely cut him. Yeah. We bring him back at a cheaper rate, maybe.
So those are some of the things that I think of. Then after that, we're talking Marcus Allen and Ulysses Gilbert III. None of that makes me feel confident about our inside linebacker situation looking drastically different next year if we go with this same exact unit. If we don't bring in higher end talent, if we don't bring in somebody to push and challenge Devin, somebody that can either play alongside of him that can do the things that he can't do. Because right now we don't have the opposite for Devin. We don't have the elite cover guy. We got a guy that can play the run really good next to you. And then we have Joe who, he's kind of good at a lot of things, but he's varsity at a lot of things, but not like exceptional or really good at any one thing right now based on what we saw this season. Beforehand it was different, but this season that's what it looked like, and that's who he is right now. So that's why for me, I don't like our inside linebacker situation. And then the last one is the obvious one, the quarterback situation. You go from having a Hall of Fame quarterback, you go from having this situation locked up for 18 years, and now this is the first go around. Now, not saying that we can't address
20
it.
combinations.
Yeah, it's like not saying that we can't get it done, but it's like, what does that look like? Is it the, outlandish, you get your Aaron Rodgers, your Russell Wilson, your Deshaun Watson? Is it, we go mid-tier, you go your Derek Carrs, you go your Jimmy G's? Or do we stay in-house? Is it the Mason? Is it the Haskins? Do we draft the guy? We get your boy Kenny Pickett, or we get your other boy Sam Harrell or Sam Howell? Because I'm noticing that's the guy for you right now. He's your new one. I like overrated. I like it. That's why I like it.
Watch out for Carson Strong though.
Yeah,
in second round, I'm telling you.
But he looks
like he's got some upside.
But are you feeling Malik?
I haven't seen enough on him.
Fair enough.
You know what? And whenever I say I haven't seen enough on him, I think I literally watched a 5-minute Carson Strong highlight tape. So if you show me a Malik Willis highlight tape, I might be sold.
Well, the thing with Sam, man, I get why people say the talent part with Sam. A year ago, he was electric. This year, he still had moments, but you could see, I thought at times he was trying to be an overachiever. He was trying to elevate the guys around him, and it did kind of get him in some bad spots. That's where I'm at initially with him.
Oh, you grinding the tapes right now?
Yeah, that's now that it's getting real off season for me, my weekends are becoming more dedicated to just film.
Nice.
Yeah, once the Super Bowl hits, then I have a lot more time to, dive into these things throughout the week and stuff like that, man. But yeah, because this is what I love. This part of this the part of the game I love.
Just grind
the tape. Let's grind some tape. Let's talk about it. So definitely excited about that, man. But yeah, so those are my 3 things: the O-line, inside linebackers, and the quarterback situation.
Oof. All right. So I got 3 as well. I'm a little more specific.
Also in the chat, y'all put the 3 things that you guys do not like about this current Steelers team as well. 3 things you currently don't like about the Steelers team.
I have honorable mentions. I'll list them later, but I'll go with my 3. Now, I have O-line. I think that's an obvious one. You're right. You hit on all that. But I'm going to say specifically Kendrick Green.
Fair enough.
Like, what are we going to do here? Seriously, he was just beat out by J.C. Hassenauer in this season at center. Ben has already said he thinks he's a guard. But how much better do you think Kendrick Green is at guard versus, let's just say we leave it as it is without even bringing Trey Turner back, than Dotson or Leglue?
I'm with you.
So he's going to be a backup. We spent a 3rd-round pick on a backup center and guard.
You know how, like, bro, you know how hard that would be. Oh, man.
It's not like we haven't done it before, though, because you could look back on Senquez Golston. We spent a 2nd-round pick on him. Like, remember, Mike Adams.
But the difference with Senquez, he was
Dree
hurt.
Archer, 3rd round.
Senquez was hurt. I think Dree is definitely a good comp because Dree was a guy that even because that was my first year here, we were viewing him as a gadget guy because we had L. Bell and LeGarrette Blount. Those were going to be the 2 the main backs, and we said Dree was going to be our speed.
It was
supposed to be like our Anthony McFarland. Yeah, it was like go return kicks. We're trying to get AB off of special teams and put Dree out there, but for Dree, he just didn't want to get hit running 4-2. It's a difference. It is.
He
man.
is really tiny.
Yeah, bro. Like I remember, I watched like a highlight of him at Kent State, and he looked small. But then when we actually came and we're in Pittsburgh together and you see him in person, you're like, bro, you are tiny. He almost put me in the mind. I don't know if you remember this guy, Brandon Banks. He was a return man for the Washington Redskins and Detroit around that same time frame, 10 to 14, 15 times. But he was a small cat, but he actually ran 4-2. He'd play out there that speed. He took some stuff to the house too, man. Good player, but that was the issue I always felt with Dree. He was so little, man. He was not trying to get hit running that fast.
It needs to be addressed. I don't know how we address it because I looked at our track record with those guys. It's usually we give them 2 years before we cut them, both with Golston, Mike Adams, and Dree Archer.
Like I said, with Adams and with Golston, they spent time on like IR, injured reserve, or being hurt. Green just wasn't playing good. So
what do we do? I don't feel good about having him just be our backup next year.
Yeah, because everybody says move him to guard, and I personally think he's too small to play guard. I think he's a very undersized player, and when you're undersized like that, and you're in a system where we're asking you to do power blocking stuff, that's a little bit of a mismatch. You know what I mean? Like he's built the zone block. He's a speed guy. He's undersized, but with undersized guys, you use them in position blocking and stuff like that. Now the big thing for him is he still has to understand pad low. He has to understand hand placement. Because it doesn't matter zone scheme or power scheme when D linemen are getting their hands on your chest and driving you 3 yards, 4 yards in the backfield. It doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish. That can't work. It just can't. So those are some areas that he has to improve upon. But I do think part of it is a little bit of the scheme for him. When you're asking him to take on a guy head up and try to move him off the ball, that's not his game. For him, he's a speed guy. You see him pulling him around. You see him getting upfield sometimes when he's trying to make, he gets. He get his thing going. Like that's what he does, man. So for me, I look at him in that vein. It
needs to be addressed. I don't know how you address it.
And like you said, because it was just a year ago,
you can't bring him back at center,
right?
Unless he makes massive improvements and we see him coming out in training camp being amazing. Do we see that happen though? Yeah, probably not. I think that's less likely than him just moving to guard and being decent at guard. But I mean, like I said, compared to the guards we have right now, and that's not even including us bringing Trey Turner back. Like he'll get lost in the shuffle. We spent a 3rd round pick on him, but I could see egos getting in the way. All right, we spent a 3rd rounder on him. Let's trot him out there at either center, at either guard, or whatever.
I don't
really like that.
But would you be surprised if that was the case? And
probably not.
That's my issue. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I just feel like we know this is the approach that they like to take. We know this is the mindset in terms of how they like to operate in this capacity. Yeah.
That's number one for me. O-line, but then specifically Kendrick Green. Because, you could include Dan Moore at like left tackle, and then what are we doing at right tackle? Are we resigning Chooks? Are we trusting Banner at right tackle?
It's like,
who knows? Second one, Stephon Tuitt. It's huge because this is the difference between us either drafting a guy, like we talk about that Georgia dude, Jordan Davis, or even signing a free agent to shore up our defensive line versus not even addressing it at all, because that could be one of our actually strengths going into next season if Tuitt's back.
Yeah.
The combination of Tuitt, Alu, and Cam Hayward.
That changes a lot.
We saw what they were doing in 2020, and it was something that we were missing out on a lot last year. I mean, it wasn't completely our defensive line's fault, but there's something to be said for us being, 32nd in the league in rush defense. Some of it was on our linebackers, but geez, our defensive line wasn't up to snuff either. So agree. Stephon Tuitt's situation is a big deal. It's really a big deal. Yeah. It's just been under the table though right now. But talk about address, looking something in the eye.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's addressing it because you said he put the house on the market, right? Maybe he's
that's not like we need eye to eye.
Maybe he's looking at them eye to eye and saying, you know what, Deke? I'm out this. I'm out. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Ben's out. I'm out too. Maybe that's the vibe he's going with, bro. Man.
That needs to be addressed. So my third one, and I'll list my honorable mentions, but I agree with you on inside linebacker. It feels like we're in no man's land. We spent this high pick on Devin Bush. How much can we rely on him? Because we're at the point where it's just like, oh, wait, do we just cut him and move on and bring in like 2 fresh inside linebackers, or do we give him the chance?
Well, because
I'm for giving him the chance.
This would be the 4th year, so it won't have the 5th year cap hit just yet in terms of like that big balloon number. His fourth year is still gonna be under 100,000. I mean, under $1 million because he's still in his rookie deal. I mean, we already talked about structure. His signing bonus is what he got up front.
Oh, is that his cap hit then? Is that what you're talking about?
The signing bonus is the cap hit, but in terms of his base salary this year, his base salary isn't going to be anything crazy. But and that's why I was like, even if you cut him, it wouldn't change it because he's already received that signing bonus. So with that,
you think we could have some bad dead cap ramifications?
Yeah, because
can I look it up?
Let me pull it up because he's still on his rookie deal. The way like the base yearly salary for them is always going to be, the rookie scale, like we talked about, the 800,000 whatever going into year 4. But because his signing bonus, I think was it 10? It was either 10 or 15, like in that range.
Okay, so dead cap hit's pretty bad actually. Yeah. $6 million.
Right, because his deal was what, 4 years for 15?
18.
Okay, 4 for 18. So and he got, what was the signing bonus though?
11 mil.
Yeah, so there you go. So that 11 has already been paid. That's why his cap hit is so high, even though his base salary isn't high at all. That's why. Because for the rookie contracts, how they structure them and things like that. So it's no real benefit to release him because that money has already been paid to him, and it's only going to hurt your cap. And we're not going to have
$6 million a year. That's got to be a top 15 guy that we're paying next year, right? Damn. That's why we're in no man's land right now.
But that's why it's so frustrating.
And we have no one else
this season, because when you make a move like that for a player like that, that's why it has to hit. Otherwise, these are the ripples of where we're at 3 years removed, 4 years removed now. And we're like, bro, you could really have us in a bad spot with the way that you've been playing.
Yeah. The injury doesn't help, but he hasn't been helping himself this past year for sure. People are questioning his effort, how much he wants to play. And that's just not some of the stuff he was doing off the field, right?
Yeah.
It was just seeing him play, getting moved off the ball.
None of the distraction stuff,
right?
None of the
not even that.
Of that. Just strictly football,
right? Yeah, because some of that, I remember we talked about in the offseason. I thought some of that was overblown, but then whenever you combine that with the play on the field, it's like, bro, you wildin'. How bad do you want it like that?
Are you a professional, man?
Let me think. Yeah, because then all we have next is Spillane. I think Spillane's free agent too, right?
Yeah.
Spillane, Schobert, probably going to cut.
He's restricted though. I don't.
Buddy Johnson and Marcus Allen. I don't think any of those dudes give you that much confidence.
Not right now. Like Buddy is intriguing, but not to the extent that I want to put him out there day one, rep one today, and I'm just above reproach confident. Like it can get to that if he has a nice training camp, all season, preseason, sure, but based on what we saw this season, I'm not ready to turn the keys over to him just yet.
My honorable mentions, I have cornerback, but I just assume we're going to do that. I assume it's either going to be a Kello, Joe. Like, we're going to address that one way or another. And receiver, this is a low-key one, but I would like a burner. I would like a Jameson Williams type on the team.
I can see that.
We'd probably have to spend a first-round pick, but his stock might be going down because that ACL. I don't know how much that's going to affect his speed or anything, but didn't Tyreek Hill have an ACL?
No, I don't think he had an ACL.
It might have been Achilles, was it? He had a bad injury. Yeah, he had a bad injury. He was out for a while.
Tyreek Hill, like toward knee surgery?
I don't remember. I just remember him missing a couple months the one season. I don't remember what it was. No, it wouldn't be AC. If it was only a couple months.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I don't know how much that ACL is going to affect his speed like that.
Nah.
I would like that type of dude. And then I didn't include quarterback, but you're right. I mean, that's the obvious thing you got to address. I just don't know, and you mentioned it, if there's a right or wrong answer at this point. I think it'll get more clear with how we fill out our team in free agency. So it's like, if we make some really nice free agent moves and we're like, oh, we're a quarterback away, maybe it's like, okay.
Now we're good.
Now we could see us trading for a guy or signing a guy that's a little bit more higher pedigree than Mason or Haskins because they could be a difference maker. Yeah. Or even it might take till the season to even know that. So that's why this year is going to be weird with the quarterback spot. It just is because then we have the 2022 draft class because it could be smart to just take a guy then with the rookie contract and if they're a stud. That could be a good way for us to rebuild.
Yeah. But even with that, we still got to hope that the guys that we're even talking about are iron right now, number one, play up to that extent, and then number two, stays healthy, because that's the other part. Because we're talking about a whole year away from now, and we saw how Tua, do you remember with him, one season, healthy, looked great. Next season, he ends up hurting the hip, hurting the ankle, has to go into the knife a little bit. He did, but there was still a lot more concern and questions around him with that. So that is something that we'll definitely have to monitor as well, man. But let's see what were people saying in terms of the three things that they don't like about this situation. Brian Regas, he says the quarterback situation, or the quarterback, offensive line, and the linebackers, referring to the inside linebackers. Okay.
They're saying your mic might be going a little bit low. So hold on, let me
say yo. Gimme yo. Is he going for?
I bumped you up a little bit, and then I made sure the mic was plugged in. So we'll see. We'll see if that affects anything.
I like it then, man. I like it. Let's see.
Is it just Moats or is it me too? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Oh no, I lost where I was this at.
All right, I think they're saying my mic is fine.
All right.
So I'm good. Mic's fine for me. Maybe it's a YouTube problem.
Yeah.
They're saying don't fall, Deke. No, I'm good.
I thought you was about to take a tumble, but I was a little nervous for you, man. Def was a little nervous.
All right, so I got Brian here.
Read off the ones you see then. Okay. Yeah, because I definitely lost where I was just at.
So there's just always good conversations going on in the chat. Yeah. There's some deep, in-depth analysis going on.
Oh, it always is in the chat. That's why the chat gets popping like that.
But here's the list. Right. 1, address offensive line. Mm-hmm. 2, add physical linebackers. So we talked both of those. And then he actually includes my honorable mention, add a burner at receiver.
Okay. Darius Mayo, he says offensive line. Says they need more D-line depth. And then quarterback. DC Elzy says offensive line, no true nose tackle on the D-line. And he also says they also say backup running backs. Depending on how you
could throw that in honorable mention for me. I don't know if I put that in my top 3 though.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it my top 3, but it's definitely something that needs addressed because we do know the way our offense is run right now, Naji has to be there. And he has to be Naji. He can't be a shell of himself. Whew. Do you think he could, or the workload that he had this season, you think he can handle that again next season? Or would you want to dial it back some?
Could he handle it?
Because
I think he could handle it.
That was a ton on him, man.
What would I want to do, though? Yeah, I would like a second running back.
Yeah.
James Conner return?
Pro Bowl James Conner. You better put some respect on him. Nah, put some respect. 2-time Pro. He did it in Pittsburgh and he did it in AZ.
What does that mean for his contract? I still don't see him getting more than. I still don't see him getting more than like 3 or 4 though.
It don't matter. He's still a Pro Bowler. That's all.
I know. It was a good season for him.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you would have asked him to come back, I hope that's his Pro Bowler James Conner. Put respect on my name. Remember that because y'all said I was the reason. That's all. If you James.
Because he was proving himself in the passing game too. Yeah. Which we knew he could do here, but in the Arizona system, he really flashed with that. Because after the Bucs Super Bowl run 2 years ago and what Leonard Fournette did, he still signed a 1-year deal for like $3 or $4 million. So it's just the running back position, dude. I don't think Pro Bowl with James Conner really means anything. I think he's going to get like I'm saying max $4 or $5 million.
Yeah, running
and it's going to be 2 or 3 years max.
Yeah, but still.
But it could make sense for us. That's
well, in this offseason, we could afford to pay a backup running back 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 million. last year we weren't trying to pay a running back $4 million to back up Naji with our situation the way it was. It was like, man, we can't afford to have that. Yeah.
I just threw Connor out there. The more I think of it, probably doesn't make sense because you'd be splitting carries with Naji. I'd rather it be Naji like 70 or 80. And then the other guy, 20, 30.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to see how I can prolong him without.
Oh, so you wouldn't mind? Like Connor's a good example then.
Yes, because to me, when you hollering about 70, 80% of them snaps again, I'm thinking of how that end of the season was going. You know what I mean? Where he was still balling, but I think of that Ravens game where he finally did get lumped up. Then I think of the Chiefs game where we saw it was a little bit compromised version of him. We saw him actually have this first fumble of the season after that. For me, I don't want to have to play that game every year like that because it reminds me of the L. Bell game. We knew L. Bell, man, while he's fresh, regular season, man, he was dominant. But at a part of the year, we knew, man, you could get burnt out. Your body's going to break down. And we saw that happen with L. Bell where it cost us. So for me, man, I'm just trying to think like, man, who's the D'Angelo Williams to him? You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
You want me to just list off some guys real quick?
Yeah, because we got like 5 minutes before we're going to get TG on the phone. So yeah.
Raheem Mostert. Was he hurt or something? I'm not seeing any snaps from him last year. Patterson, Cordarrelle Patterson.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I like Cordell's game a lot, bro. Were you
31 years
watching
old.
Falcons like that though, bro? Like I had Kyle Pitts. Man.
I mean, he's the type of compliment.
No, bro. Like he's nice, bro. Like we would like.
He might get more money than like James Conner. No, he might get the most money because
he's the most versatile. He can run, catch, return kicks. Dude, he is dynamic, bro.
He got $3 million last year.
Yeah,
from what it looks like. I don't know if that was market value, but it says $3 million. Philip Lindsay, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Richard?
Jalen Richard,
yeah, from the Raiders. Mm-hmm. David Johnson, no. Melvin Gordon, Sonny Michel, Marlon Mack.
Oh, man, Marlon's an interesting guy too because you think he was nice in Indy. They bring in Jonathan Taylor, and he kind of gets buried on that depth chart when he comes back from his injury.
He was good, yeah.
And they wouldn't trade him. Remember, they were like, we like him. We want to keep him, but they just never used him. So
was he hurt again this year,
No, he wasn't. They just weren't using him like that.
He could be a good one.
They were saying like they want to use him more, but they just didn't because Taylor was having the year that he was having.
J.D. McKissick, he's a little like scat
I remember J.D.
from Washington. He was torching us up in that game 2 years ago.
Maybe we need to go holler at the Chiefs. McKinnon, can we get you?
Oh,
he looked really good versus us, man.
As a backup, yeah. They're on that run right now. They're making a no-name running back halfway decent in the playoffs right now,
and I'm all for it. Hey, you want to come to Pittsburgh next year, man? Similar role, not as robust, but still be good though.
Giovanni Bernard.
I don't. He's a former Cincy guy.
James Conner's in there. Yeah. Ronald Jones.
Little Rojo action. See, I don't like those guys because I feel like that still goes back to what Naji is. I like Cordarrelle Patterson because he is very different than what Naji is in terms of, just his ability and elusiveness. I feel like I want to compliment to Naji, a guy that I still feel
Chase
comfortable
Edmonds.
handing the ball up. Edmonds I love, but Edmonds I don't think comes here. If you're Edmonds, honestly, Edmonds, I think his best spot is still in Arizona, man. He's homegrown out there.
Yeah, him and Connor actually.
Yeah, like I think he's like a great situation for him, man. I want to get a speed guy who's just or a more elusive guy that I can complement and pair with Naji. So Naji's still my main back, but I don't have to have him out there all the time. You know what I mean?
Dearness Johnson.
I mean, he can look good in that one game.
Lev Bell. He's available.
I'm good on L.
That's about it on the names.
I'm good on L.
So, kind of some familiar names, Fournette, Lindsay.
Cordarrelle Patterson, man.
You're getting amped about that.
No, because I guess
Canada system. Whoa.
Like for me in general, bro, I just like his game. You talk about him in Minnesota, and then you watch him in Atlanta, and it's like, bro, he just knows how to ball. Like he's just almost like positionless. You know what I mean? Like, can he be a wide receiver? Sure. Can he be a return man? Sure. Can he be a running back? Sure. But he does all three. And you see how he excels. And I like the fact that he's definitely put on more size too. This year in Atlanta, he bulked up his frame, and you can see him like running behind his pads a little bit more too, man, which I definitely liked. So yeah, man.
What do you think his market is? You thinking like $5 million?
I think he'll be the highest end of all those guys, probably, man. But
good
bro,
for him.
Think, bro,
he's had a late surge in his career.
I think he would cook, bro. Him with Naji, and whatever quarterback you have, he is a safety net, man. Absolutely, a guy that can just turn something out of nothing. In the sense of, hey, if we're worried about shoddy quarterback play and we're maybe not stretching the field as much vertically, Cordarrelle is a guy that you can hit out the backfield, that you can, get that ball to in space and let him make a guy miss and get to work. Very similar to what we talk about with Naji in terms of how Naji can make stuff happen after the ball, but different in their approaches, man. Yeah, I like him a lot, bro.
I'm reading an article right now. So he did officially sign with the Falcons last year on a 1-year, $3 million deal. So the headline of this is Falcons must re-sign Cordarrelle Patterson, but can they afford him?
I can see it, bro. I don't know what their cap situation is.
But then they're also, their cap situation isn't that good. But they're also talking about how there's one part of it where he's probably been the Falcons MVP this last season, but our team's going to be hesitant to pay him due to his age. And he hasn't really done this throughout his career. This is hands down his best season, and he's almost 31 right now.
But he's been to Pro Bowls as a
returner. He's been more of a gadget guy.
Receiver, gadget dude.
He's jumped around. Raiders, Bears, he's with the Vikings, Patriots. But now he finally figured out a role with the Falcons. I don't know. I mean, it's probably worth a 2-year deal, maybe 2 or 3, but I don't know how much.
Bro.
You think 5 or 6 is it though? And you think that would be worth it?
I'd have to look into his market. I don't know his market all the way just yet, but he's definitely somebody that I'm going to look into a lot more. But
could be good for the Steelers. You talk about an offensive weapon.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a good fit, man, if he's available in the sense of his market. But like I said, I haven't looked just because when you brought his name, I'm like, oh, you're right. I didn't even think of this guy. Yeah. So now I'm like, let me go do some homework on him. I didn't want to just come up here and say something outlandish without having a little homework. I like the idea
of it, though, for sure. Maybe that's a whole other topic in and of itself.
I, for a fact, would pay him the $5 million. I don't have an issue with that because, number one, he prolongs Naji, but number two, he's going to add an explosive element to this offense. Yeah, I like him a lot, bro. I like him. All right, let's get the homie TG on the line. TG with his new phone, too.
Really? Get the iPhone 13?
I don't know. Let's ask him.
Hello?
Uh-oh. Is that new phone TG?
Oh, man, bro. It's been a morning, bro.
Man,
I got a phone just for you.
Man, talk about it, bro. We appreciate you. First off, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are on the line with Terence Garvin, a.k.a. Locker Mate, former teammate of mine. Also was here with us with Big Ben as well, man. But, so what was going on with your phone this morning, man?
Man, I woke up to the phone not working, just a black screen.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I got to get on this call with Moats. Did y'all see how hard Moats was smiling in that picture next to Ben? He felt like he was next. Did you see how hard he was smiling?
I always smile. Why you try to do that, T?
He thought he was next to Santa Claus. What? Did you see? It was Christmas. That had to be a Christmas
I can't stand you, bro. Why you want to do that?
Did you see how hard he was smiling? That was the new Moats.
That was divisional round playoff game right there. So you already know the Rollie was bust down by then. The suits was extra tailored. We felt real nice. All right, you know how that goes.
That was the new Moats.
That was new Moats. You're right. That was new Moats.
That's why I love talking to you because I seen the original Moats. I seen.
You calling me out, bro. Stop this. You calling me out, man.
Before the contract Moats, and I seen after the contract Moats. And for all the people out here that don't think the contract matters, I seen before the contract Moats. I seen after the contract Moats. The smile just got brighter.
The money just highlights who you really are, right?
Hey,
that's
man.
what they say.
But they say money can't buy happiness. Well, you ain't never seen a millionaire with a frown, boy. I tell you that.
I don't understand. This Moats smile just got
man.
different. Did y'all see the picture? I hope you can pull the picture.
People definitely saw the picture. They liked the first 2 pictures. They came at me on the third picture. They were saying that I was trying to send a message with that Bills on IG. I had a third one with the Bills up there. I was just talking about me competing against some I saw. You know what I'm saying?
Leave that out. Leave that out. Wrong time. Wrong time. You know when they be like, good joke, bad timing. Good joke, bad timing.
Oh, it'd have been terrible if the Bills advanced too. That would have been awful.
And the Bills they in a dark spot right now too. They hurt. Bad timing. Bad timing. But the smile was just immaculate. I just had to put that out there. Did you see all the teeth that were showing?
All the teeth.
He didn't miss a tooth. He had them all showing. At kickoff. At kickoff. When you ready to go to war, that's how happy he would look at Moats. I was like, look at this picture.
So before we really go into this conversation, I'm gonna just remind you of the person that you told me about when we started to say, hey, this is what it looks like when you cross over into money. Me and you, I think we were in Baltimore. Okay. We looked on the sideline at a point in the game, and it was an individual flossing his teeth. He had a deal with a flossing company. I believe it was Colgate or Crest. I think it was Colgate. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You looked at me and you said, bro, when a guy is flossing his teeth on the sideline, that lets you know they have crossed over. They are big time. The money is there. That's different.
That's a whole another
Steelers
level.
or Ravens?
Steelers. It was a Steelers.
AB.
You know who that was.
Yes.
That's a whole nother level of conversation.
Like, bro, my man was flossing his. So me smiling is one thing.
He had to floss every day. I'm not hearing that game. He was getting them things cleaned every day.
Every day, bro.
Between a period.
Every day.
Getting the floss.
He's like crazy.
And if you get a picture, we're gonna tag them. Make sure you tag them.
Got to for the culture. But talk to me, T, man. What was your reaction though, bro? What was your reaction, man? Officially seeing Seven retire, man. The announcement being out there, the video, man. What were your thoughts on that?
The video was great. It was emotional. You know, I thought it was. I felt that. But it's nothing like being able to blow your own candles out. Like, it was emotional. But he really got to go in there and take his sticker down. He really got to go in there and clean that out.
Not
he
everybody
didn't get
gets
that mailed to him.
Yeah.
He didn't get that mailed to him.
In the black garbage bag. Yeah.
That garbage bag didn't arrive on his front porch. You know, like for the people who don't know, they mail it to you.
Yeah.
they don't worry about it.
Big brown box,
your stuff.
trash bag inside of it, everything. And you're like, bro, wow.
No, don't come pick up nothing.
They won't let you back in?
To you.
Well, most of the time, nah.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a great moment. Like, it looks sad, but I mean, I don't mean to say all good things come to an end, but it's like it was time. We knew this was coming.
Yeah.
We knew this was coming. So it's like, for the people in denial, I know, bro. For the people in denial, I've been telling you this for what, 2-3 months now. I'm like, this is it. We knew this was coming.
Now, you know, Deke ain't want to believe that. Even yesterday, he was like, bro, I mean, he retired, but he ain't really retired. You know, he can come back.
I mean, I'll be real. You should be happy that he retired and he didn't linger, because I thought he was just going to go somewhere else. I thought he was going to shoot one more time somewhere else. I thought he was going to Brett Favre this thing.
Someone brought it up in the chat, but I don't think so. Me and Moats talked about that. I think the being on one team, the Steelers' legacy probably means more.
Yeah. I seen something. I'm not going to say it means more. I think it's dope that he was on one team the whole time. I think that shows that he was a staple of the organization. That shows the loyalty of the organization, especially in this time and era where they can cut you just because you make too much. Like, it can get dangerous,
bro.
Yeah, so that shows the loyalty of him. It shows the loyalty of him. And he withstood a lot of people. He went through the AB errors. He went through with the L. Bell errors. He went through the Mendenhall error. You know what I mean? He went through Santonio Holmes, Jerome Bettis. Like, he's a staple. He was there. They drafted him, and they got a lot of good work out of him. 18 years worth. Yeah. At the same token, I think I read something. He made almost $500 million, like, working for the Steelers. Like,
they took care of that man. Absolutely,
everybody won. Yeah, he brought 2 Super Bowls here. Everybody won. He took them to 3. So to me, it's kind of like it was a wrap. It was a wrap. I don't think. I just think he has kids. You can see he has those 2 boys and a little girl. Mm-hmm. So you could feel like he's in that mature phase. I seen a video of him at West Virginia. He was at a West Virginia game last year with his son. So it's like you can feel that, like, that fatherhood coming. Not to say coming, because I'm sure he's been a good father, but that, like, true, like, full time. I'm about to start taking him around. I'm gonna just enjoy the fruits of what I put in. You know, that season takes a lot out of you. No matter what, bro. Like, whether no matter how you cut it, that season it's a grind. It's a full-time grind. So it's like, I think him getting to sit down for a minute, really be with his family for a minute, and realize he doesn't have to go back in September. It'll be bittersweet, but I think he'll find a new flow. Nah, you might see him on a high school coach type a little bit. You might see him.
You call that?
Yeah, we were talking about a little bit. It's
play.
either he's just gonna be real low key, probably just golfing and hunting. Because I don't see him going on TV or like hosting a radio show or podcast or anything like that.
He's not that guy.
Or you're right, high school coach.
He kind of give you that. I don't want to call it the Troy Polamalu feel where it's like you might not hear from him for a while.
Yeah.
But he got that feel of you might not know where he go. At the same time, I really could see him staying around the game a little. He's a quarterback. He's still I don't know how to put it. He's still like a joyful kind of guy to where I could see him doing like a high school coach type of thing. Like when his son getting in there maybe, or maybe he coaches his son's rec team.
Fun, but no real pressure on it.
Yeah,
still around it.
Still around it, but not around it. He'll probably still be in Pittsburgh because he's from Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
So Deke, where you from, man?
He's Findlay, Ohio.
Don't you from some? I think Findlay, Ohio, man. You know this man bio, man. Stop playing like that, bro. Hey, but when we say 7, though, man, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Because you shared the locker room with him, man. You actually, if I remember correctly, you got more with. No. You got there in 13. Yeah. So let's say, you was there before me with him, man.
Oh man, I was a 3-day tryout, man.
Man, you from the gulag. Come on, man.
From the basement.
Let's go.
7. I looked at 7 like wow, that's really 7. You know, I went to West Virginia, so I always was hearing about, I was Steeler Nation right up the street. So I've been seeing this 7 for a long time. Like I feel like that's the only Steeler quarterback I really can say I seen. I remember Cordarrelle Stewart a little bit, but that was the quarterback I knew as the Steelers, like Ben Roethlisberger. So I don't know. 7 was a good guy. He was a leader. He was I wasn't in 7's world, if that makes sense. I always joke around. And I said, me and 7 didn't really talk. He'll give me the pregame hug. I got the pregame hug. I felt special all the time with the pregame hug. Let's go, T. Garv. I remember he knew my name. I was like, all right, I'm in here a little bit. I'm in here. I always joke. This is a funny story. I promise you. It was we was in a game. I feel like we was about to play Cincinnati. I know we was at home. I'll never forget that. And 7, he was looking, and he came up to me. He said, yo, T. Garv. And I was like, all right, hold on. I sat up. I was like, what's up? I'm thinking he got something to say. What's up? What's up, man? He said, yo, you seen AB?
Oh.
I ain't seen him. Vince Williams sitting right next to me. I said, no, I ain't seen him. He said, all right. Walked away, and I was like, yeah, he know my name, though, y'all. I was like, he know my name, though, y'all. Like, it's all good. He know who I am. They know me.
Facts. Yo, that is funny. I never heard this story. I like that right there. Let's go. Dang, what up, boy? Say, yo, he know my nname though. Because I know that should go to. He know my name. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man.
But I mean, in practice, like 7 he was a hard worker. He practiced hard. Never complained. I've been around different quarterbacks, around the league. Like he had a different feel from a lot of quarterbacks. He was definitely a vet. He was a pro. He's a good leader. He was a good guy. He worked hard. He did well. He's a leader of the Steelers.
Shoot, man.
I think your quarterback kind of represents your organization, if that makes sense. Like you kind of build your other players around how that quarterback personality is. So if you really look at the Steelers, they're a hardworking program. They're naturally like that. But I think he fit the culture more than anything. They didn't try to readapt the culture for him. I feel like they brought guys similar to 7 in there. That makes sense. So
I like it.
Yeah,
man.
I get what you're saying.
I like it. Now, we were over here sharing our favorite moments, right? Oh man, the touchdown pass against, the Ravens, the immaculate extension. You know what I mean? We talked about the playoff game, Cincinnati coming back, the one-armed bandit. For you, what's your favorite 7 memory, man?
Man, it gotta be when his arm didn't work. When his arm was about to
I tell you, all right.
Because I know you remember.
I literally just was talking about it. That boy arm ain't work, bro.
I remember all week I'm talking about. I'm like, yo, he's not gonna make it. There's no way he's gonna make it. Like, I'm like, he can't even pick this arm up,
bro.
Like, I remember being in the locker room. I was like, "There's no way he's gonna make it. There's no way." Like the way he looking, it wasn't working.
The walkthrough, was he throwing right-handed or was he throwing
he
left-handed?
threw left-handed in the. I remember you told me. That. That's crazy. That's crazy. We talked. You was like, bro, he's throwing left-handed. Like it's not gonna work.
It's over. It's over.
I was like, the arm's gone, bro. I don't know what. Like it's over this week. I think we're in a play. We
was going to Denver.
Yeah,
it was going to Denver.
Come on. I was like, it's not gonna work. That arm's gone. And he came out there. I think he threw the first 5 passes.
Yeah. Literally, the first one I think was a bomb. Yeah, he overthrew Wheaton, I think.
It's nuts, bruh.
And I was like, yo, I love Seven for that. Like, he debated us all up. He had internal people like, nah, I think it's over.
Hey.
I think it's over.
It was bad, bruh.
It was like, yo, I remember being like, there's no way he can pick it up. He wasn't picking it up.
Nah.
He wasn't even moving it. I don't even think he was eating with the right.
No, everything was left hand, bruh.
Everything was left-handed that week. I'll never forget. And it was like, he came out there and he was like, all right, I got something for y'all. He warmed it up and he started letting it go.
There he go. There he is. There he is.
They cheated us in Denver that day. I'll never say it. They cheated us in Denver that day. We went to the Super Bowl that year.
No, facts, bro. Facts.
We had a good team. We had a real strong team. We was kind of tight. They cheated us that year. We was missing them 2 running backs. Remember, my boy Tucson, he fumbled. Big fumble. Yeah. Big fumble.
That hurt, man. That definitely hurt.
Peyton Manning got sacked in the backfield. He did like that slide and got up and threw it. He got up and threw it. They took it down to like the 5. They scored off of that. We lost off of that. It was a dog fight up there. But we was gonna make a run that year. If we'd have won that game, I think that's us in the Super Bowl.
Nah, facts, bro.
I'm with you on
that. I really do.
Facts. Now, transition a little bit, man, to a little bit more current stuff, man. Obviously, Coach Butts, Keith Butler, both of our former coaches, obviously stepped away, retired from coaching. But after retiring, he had some interesting comments, man, in terms of, just saying that Mike Tomlin has been calling the defense throughout his whole tenure as DC, and even dating back as far as to Dick LeBeau's last year with the Steelers as well. So 2-part question. First, just what are your thoughts on Keith Butler retiring? And then the second part will be, what's your thoughts on the information that, he said in terms of Coach T having been calling that defense? Is this new to you?
Man, salute Coach Butts, first and foremost. Love. That was my linebacker coach.
Yeah, bro.
First day in the league. At the 3-day tryout, I was number 49. Me and Vince was in there. He was like, hey, 49. He didn't know my name. I was 49. And he was like, hey, I like you. We're going to let you come to camp. I had got like three picks out there. He was like, I see you. Let me see if you can do it with the pads on. I kind of said, I'll do it with the pads on. He's like, I don't want to hear that. Show me. So he was really just about to show me. I don't want to hear nothing. No, I'm not trying to hear no excuses. Show me. Hard-nosed guy. Coach LeBeau was the best. I love Coach LeBeau.
Yeah.
And he called that defense, and I think Coach Butts was just the protege of Coach LeBeau. So as soon as he stepped down, we knew it was going to be Coach Butts. He knew that. He used to be in their linebacker room just looking at the whole defense. He wasn't just looking at the linebackers. Yeah. He'd be critiquing a lot. So I learned a lot from him. I learned so much from him. He was smart. He had a Larry Foote in there. He always had vets in there that really knew what they were doing. He was a genius. He was real smart. I think the defense had to stick in that 3-4 system. That was big for Pittsburgh. So he was the face of it. In the time, especially when I was there, I remember they used to have those special meetings.
Friday meetings. Let's go, man.
Hey, listen. If you didn't get it,
winning edge. Is that what it's called? Winning edge.
The winning edge.
Winning edge. That's what it's called, right?
To the winning edge meeting very easily. Very easily. Yeah. But at the same time,
he said you could not get invited to that very.
You could not get invited to that.
Only special people got invited to that meeting, bro.
Winning edge. You gotta know the basics to get to the winning edge.
Yeah.
So, and that was Coach T's thing. Like he would bring certain people in there, he'd bring guys in there, and it just started to grow and grow and grow. And so to answer the second part, no, that doesn't surprise me. Coach T is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
You know, Coach T's a defensive guy, and I remember Coach T really wanted to influence that cover 2 into our system. We was total fire zone. We was completely fire zone. No, one high every play. You knew you was gonna get one high, but you just didn't know where that blitz was coming from. And I think that was one of the things when Coach LeBeau left. I think Coach Tomlin really wanted to put his influence into that cover 2 system, a little bit more quarters, which is cover 4 to the people. Quarters a little bit more 6. He wanted to do more of that. And I think Coach Butts was just totally a fire zone guy. He was just so 3-4. I think he did start to influence and call more plays. I'm sure Coach Butts had the initial game plan. He called the play. But I think things could possibly get vetoed. I think things could possibly get, we're going to blitz here. We're going to do this here. So to me, in my time, what I've seen and talking through it years later, like, yeah, Coach T is the one essentially calling I don't want to say calling the plays, but creating the game plan, if that makes, or creating this is what we're gonna live and die with.
Well, and see, I agree with you on that, but Butts said that he was actually calling these plays as well.
I'm sure he called a couple plays.
No, he said he called everything. That's the part for me where I was like, what?
Bro, I doubt that.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't see him calling everything.
Yeah.
Not everything. But I'm sure he's the one that put the defenses in. This is what we're going to run this week.
Yeah.
That's out. This is in. Call it how you see it, but that's out and this is in.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I could dig that, man.
That's great.
Like, this is how we're going to run it. This is what we're going to run this week. Now, you call what you want on first and second down. These are the third down plays we have for this week. Because, we used to have new third down packages.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and I mean, we only go in there with honestly like 3 or 4 plays for third down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he had a big menu to call from.
Yeah.
He probably just was picking A, B, or C.
Yeah.
So, and then at halftime, he'll switch and give you
whatever A and D was, he gonna go back to B and C.
A and D, maybe E. It's like, all right, this your new menu. Like, it's not like you got a whole lot to order from.
Hey, look, we're gonna run Cobra in the first half. In the second half, we're going nickel fire zone. All right, guys, that's how we're going to do it. Is that simple?
We're going to hit you from the left corner in the first half, from the right, we're going to bring that nickel in the second half. Like,
no question, bro.
Off balance. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure Coach Butts was calling the plays, but I'm sure the menu was created by
Coach T.
Yeah. You're not going to go to McDonald's and order a cheesesteak. Like, they don't have that.
Facts.
You got to take what you got here.
Facts.
So. But I'm sure he was still calling the plays. We've seen him saying words on TV. Like, we've seen him.
That was my thing. I said, man, I've stood next to and heard when Coach T said, hey, man, call this play right here. Like, I know when he takes over, like, we know it. Dadgummit, like, we get all that. Yeah, you know how Butts get. Yeah. But when he said it, we were just like, what? Like, none of it? For real? Like, that's crazy.
I'll be real. Coach Butts was all about 7, though. I will say that. Like, when I was there, like, he was just all about 7. He was like, we got a quarterback. We got 7. So, to me, when 7 left, you knew Coach Butts was leaving. That's just that era, that group.
Yeah.
And I'll be real, it's a new game out here now. It really is. It's a new game. It's a new business. Like, these head coaches, you can get fired. So, you got to kind of you got to take some control of your, like, back in the day, it's kind of like that D coordinator had his leverage. You see like a Dallas, like that D coordinator has all the leverage. Yeah. So certain places, like, you can live or die with your D coordinator. And so some places, like in this new world, you have to, as a head coach, you got to take control a little bit. You got to, your job's on the line, So it's like, not to say Coach T's job is on the line, but he wins. He wins. So, I mean, he has a proven resume. So if he was kind of putting that menu together, you have to respect it because it has worked.
I like it.
How do you feel about Canada going forward as the OC?
I think you're going to really see who he is now. I think he doesn't have a 7 in there. I just feel like for the last years, like, I just don't think Pittsburgh has ever had an offense plan. I just think it's always been more of a player, if that makes sense. Like, all right, let's get it to 8-4. Let's get it to 2-6.
Yeah.
Let's just get it to these people. All right, panic, where's 8-4? Where's 11? And I think now it's kind of like he's gonna have to run a system where it's like, like this quarterback's not even gonna be looking to run the plays, listening for what the play is, if that makes sense. So I think you're gonna really see who that is. I'm interested to see if he'll have the job this year though. If I think they'll give him that 1 year. Let's see what you got. Just totally, it's your world. But it's some young gunners out here like that calling plays. Like you can get a stud and that change your whole offense.
Facts.
Like it's some guys. It's some real guys in there. I was there. I was at Washington when that McVay and all that was there. Like I seen plays.
He was down there with Deke's favorite quarterback, his second favorite quarterback, Cousins.
Oh.
Nah, man.
No, that's not his second favorite quarterback.
Deke love Kirk Cousins, bro.
That dude's overrated.
No,
man.
He not, man.
He's
like
been
that.
Stealing money.
You like that? I like that. I like that.
You ever seen that movie Taken? When them people had the ski mask? and they was walking into them banks with the ski mask.
Well, y'all slandering my man Kirk like that, man.
Everybody get down.
Don't y'all slander Kirk like that, man. Y'all stop this, man. Y'all stop this, man. No Kirk Cousins slander today, Deke. No Kirk Cousins slander, all right?
I'm not even slandering no quarterback. And quarterback is a hard position. I respect quarterback. It's a hard position. It is. It's some people who do it very well, and some people who, they struggle. Yeah. I'm still on the train. I stand by it. Like start the petition.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson to Pittsburgh would be a lovely thing if they could figure out.
If they could
figure out how to make that work. If they could get them something they need to give up, that would be the piece that they need. That would be beautiful.
Well, look, I was going to ask you too, man, because we a little pressed on time for today's show and everything, but I do want to get to this last part, man. Kris Richard. Obviously, the Steelers have just requested to interview him. He's coming from New Orleans. He spent some time in Dallas, Seattle. He's been a couple places and had some success. But
Seattle, New Orleans.
But more importantly, you're the expert because you actually played for Kris.
For Coach Richard.
Yeah, so give us the rundown, man. What is he like? What is his strengths, weaknesses, man? Let's talk this out real quick, man.
Good dude. Really good dude. Faith, real strong in his faith. Remember how Coach Butts was real into his faith, real into his religion. He stands by that. He was there when we had a lot of issues in terms. I remember our whole team was kind of breaking up with the whole who's going to take a knee, who's not. He was a firm staple in this is what we're going to do or not going to do. Strong-minded. I think it's oil and water though. I don't think that would totally work. That's just my personal.
No, and that's what we want to hear though. Like elaborate on that. Yeah,
that's just my personal. Like I think it could go great. If it went great, I think it would go absolutely great. I've seen him take care of I've seen him take care of guys. I've seen him create a Richard Sherman. I've seen him not create, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but he helped him grow. I mean, he was a fifth rounder at the time. Yeah,
he was big on that cover 3 system. He's a USC guy. He's a SC guy. So it's just a different. I would just be eager to see how they personality-wise, how they mesh.
Because I remember you brought that up about Akello in terms of like that West Coast versus East Coast guys, and we agree it's different.
I didn't think Weatherspoon was just going to be a just strong Steeler, and he showed me wrong. He had a really good year.
Yeah,
but
he had it started out a little rocky though. Early on, it wasn't.
I think
like
the culture had. I think he had to adjust to the culture. Okay. And I think once he adjusted to the culture, he adjusted and he became a good player here. But I just think it's a way different culture. Like that West Coast and East Coast is different. Now I know he's in New Orleans, and it seems like he's done well in New Orleans. New Orleans has struggled, but like not defensively. Right. They've played well defensively. Yeah. And they got guys up there. Kris Richard is a former DB. He knows what he's doing.
I was gonna say, what do you think is his best attribute then? Or if you had to list a couple of things that you like the most about Kris, what would you say?
I'd be interested to see him in that 3-4 though. You got to come to Pittsburgh and run that 3-4. Like it's the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, would he be the person calling the plays or would he just be the new face? I think they're going to pick from within. Like, I don't really see them coming out of town to, like, I don't mean to say it like that, but I just think somebody's going to elevate
like a Terrell Austin then type.
Yeah. Like Coach TA. I could see that being the guy. I just think that's the Pittsburgh way. Like, we're just going to move up from within. He'd rather stay within than go shopping. He always tell you that. So it's like, I think, there's certain rules, there's certain laws, the Rooney rules and whatnot, where you have to interview certain people and you have to do what you have to do. But I just see him picking from within. I don't see him trying to bring no static into the system. He has good coaches in there. He has coaches that he trusts. I could see him maybe moving somebody up and then bringing in a DB coach maybe.
Okay.
And it would be interesting to see if maybe a Kris Richard would do that. But that just goes into, like, is it lower? Is it higher? Is this what you wanted to do? So it'll be interesting. I just personally think he's going to pick from within. I think he's going to give you a little bit of interrogation, kind of keep people guessing, keep it interesting. It's still a good TV show. You gotta make it interesting.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to pick from within, take somebody from within and kind of bump somebody over to that position and start to harness him in case this one doesn't work, to who will be next. And I mean, the thing is, we just talked about at the beginning of the show, like, if he's the one that was per se calling the plays, it don't really matter who he's going to put. It's just a face.
Yeah, very true, man. Very true.
So,
but
you got to get somebody who's willing to accept that. So, that's my little take on it.
Nah, I like it, man. And that's what we needed, man. That's big time info, man. But like I said, man, always a blast whenever we get you on the show, and we're gonna spin the block and do it again. Locker mate, my dog.
I told you them Bills was going out.
Hey, yo, chill out, man. See, now you're doing too much over here, man. We were supposed to have a nice, everything was good, and then you go, that's crazy, man. You done called me out about my money situation. Now, come on, man.
The teeth was smiling.
Crazy.
They don't need to change that overtime rule. I know everybody was arguing about that. Win in regulation.
I agree.
Win in regulation or win the coin toss. But it is what it is. Like, you don't need to put these boys into a whole nother quarter. That's too much football. It's not college.
That's what,
you know what I mean? We're not about to play all that sudden death. Like, win now, win in regulation or go home. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you and Moats see eye to eye on that one.
Thank you. But I'll holler at you, bro.
All right, bro.
All right.
Peace, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Garvin, a.k.a. Lock Up Mate. That was good, man. It was a fun little convo right there,
great.
man.
He had some really good info,
heck yeah,
good
heck
stories
yeah.
and everything. That was a lot of fun.
All right, so what we'll do is this. Which supers do you see on your end? Because I have a couple on my end.
Solo one.
All right.
Where did we leave off? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I'm gonna just start right here.
Is there Dave Shipley up there?
Yeah, Dave Shipley says the only statue is the
I think
Chief
it's that
Pittsburgh.
gold one next. What's that one?
Chupa Thingy 6173.
I don't think we did him.
All right. So because I got a little bit of a cushion. So let me hit these really quick.
So we'll save the Trubisky one for next. Okay.
Potentially, yeah. Depending on where we get through this.
We might even
more
have
than likely. We'll see though. We'll see. All right, so Chuba Thingy 6173 says, make the statue of Big Ben animatronic and have him doing the pump fake, where he did the fake spike or the crazy hard
animatronic. Yeah, like at the mall whenever they had those. Sorry, hold on. I got water.
That loud pack hit you, bro?
No. Remember in the malls? Did you ever see this back in the day? They would have like the animatronic, like T-Rexes and stuff in malls, like something like that.
Heck yeah,
those look real.
They do. They
were
low-key kind of creepy, man. All right, next up was Deontay. He says, did y'all see Naji's interview on who he wanted as the Steelers' next QB? He did not mention Mason or Haskins at all. He said Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, man. I did
not see that, man.
I saw someone else in the chat mention it. That's
I did
funny.
not see that, man. I'll have to look and see. We might have to talk about that on Monday, man. React to that,
That's
bro.
hilarious.
Heck yeah. Put all our quarterback talk on Monday, man, because, since the guys are recommending, Lord have mercy. All right, Luke Walker, he says, people talk about not wasting a year of TJ and Minka's prime tanking. We'll waste their whole careers if we keep trotting out mediocre quarterbacks like Mason Rudolph. I can understand that sentiment as well. I could definitely understand that, man.
I think we have a year grace period right now, though.
I would agree with that.
A year, if we don't have it, because I told you, the quarterback situation, I don't feel like there's a right or wrong answer right now.
Yeah.
But we will find out more and more throughout free agency. How do we build our roster? And then maybe if we still unclear, we'll find out throughout the season. Then at the end of next season, it's like, all right, this is what we do.
Yeah.
We draft this guy. We trade for this guy. Like, this is what we need to do because the quarterback situation isn't up to snuff. But, who knows? Who knows? Because every move we'd make this offseason, it's whether we keep Haskins, Mason. All right, you don't feel as comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
If we trade for a guy, then we're giving up picks. We're giving up assets.
Yeah.
If we sign a guy, that's hitting our cap space. And probably if we sign a guy, they're not the most decorated. It's probably we're signing a Fitzpatrick or a Trubisky, $5 million, $10 million, whatever it is. So that's eating the cap. You're still not feeling it. So there's all these different combinations. It just feels unclear right now, though.
Yeah.
We get this 1 year grace period, I think.
I would agree. All right. Juicebox32, he says, in terms of the 3 things that he doesn't like, offensive line, inside linebackers, run defense. He also says to smash that like button. We're going to keep saying that even after the video is done. Because, like you said, he don't like the viewer to like ratio. And I could definitely understand that. He says likes are nowhere near the viewers. I can definitely see that, baby. I can definitely see that. All right. But more importantly, YouTube can. So make sure I hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, also hit the subscribe button. I know we flirting with 30K, man. Might have to start and get ready for that 30K giveaway, man. It's almost time.
James Conner jersey
it's
giveaway.
It's almost there, man. It's almost time, baby. I was trying to think of who else wore 30 here, man. Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
I can't either.
All right, but let's go UW. He says things that he likes about this current Steelers team: the secondary, the left side of the offensive line, and the tight ends. He dislikes the wide receivers outside of Deontay Johnson, the run defense, and the offensive play calling. I could definitely understand. That's a good list right there. It's definitely good. I forgot all about the Titans because you talk about your Gentry. Obviously, Kevin Radar. He was another guy. Both in terms of Gentry and Radar, they both came in and provided us
Gentry.
No, we're not gonna say just Gentry. When Radar definitely came in and provided us some times late in the year as well, man. Both of those dudes did. Just because it's not 30 receptions doesn't mean that the guy didn't have an impact.
We need an upgrade though.
Upgrade, sure.
Second tight end,
but we acting like these dudes still ain't coming to help us out.
No, I like Gentry.
That's all I'm saying, man. You meant the same way you said the same way you looked at the Gentry, the same way you looked at Radar when I just said Radar. Probably. You looked at Gentry the same way early on in the year.
Probably.
They help. They good players, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be actually that opposed just going with Freiermuth Gentry next year. I wouldn't.
You still need another guy though.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Are you talking about Radar? You're saying that's why it's a positive?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about drafting a guy as that tight end number 2, though. I think we're good with Gentry. Let's roll with him.
Just what I've been saying.
Yeah.
You ain't like the Gentry move.
No.
I've been like the Gentry move. That you finally came along to it, and eventually you're gonna come along to the Raider move too. Watch. I know how this goes. It'll be missing. Yo, that Raider dude can block, bro. Like when he's into the running. Oh, obviously, yeah. All right. Anywho, Craig Ellis. He also says, let's get these likes up, LOL. Nah, they coming up, though. They coming up. I see y'all, man. And you know what's going to happen. Since we keep talking about it at the end of the show, over the weekend, it's going to keep hitting up.
Nice.
So it'll be all good, baby. It'll be all good. Cal Brashear says, take a top cornerback or safety. One of the 3 can play slot or dime linebacker. Wide receiver threats in division. We need a lockdown corner with safeties keeping it all in front. Do DO line help? Oh, defense and offensive line help as well.
Basically named everything.
I would say. And he wasn't done. He came back. He also said, grab a D lineman who will boost up 2 position rooms, that being the linebacker room, free up Devin Bush, use a high pick on the defensive version of a skill player, whether it be a safety or a cornerback.
And get a franchise quarterback while you're
at it.
I
was going to say,
it's just everything.
That's a heck of a list right there. Now, I hope it works like that, but that's a heck of a list. And we're at solo 1. So you rock with that. We'll progress 42 hard. That actually 41, actually. Bro. 41 hard, bro. Because I'm going to mess around and be late.
All right.
Can't be late.
We'll speed these up. Solo 1 says, off topic. Isn't it funny how Joe Mixon's legacy, when it's all said and done, is going to be greater than Lev Bell's? Do you guys agree? No. He's got to stay on this pace. Because if for some reason he gets hurt next year and it's all done, I would still take Bell. But yeah, next 3-4 years he keeps on this, then probably.
Yeah, and especially with Burrow. In Cincinnati too.
Garrett Slingerland, give Patterson the same deal they gave Banner.
I can see that, man. I can see that.
4.5 a year. I mean,
if he takes it, man, I'll be down for it.
No, but even at that, I mean, if you're doing Banner for 4.5 a year, I mean, you could probably spend an extra $1 or $2 million for someone like Patterson. Yeah. Jeez. Deontay, you guys missed my super chat.
We already came back and got it. Yeah, that was the.
We always catch back on these super chats.
Because he had sent it before we had started reading through our supers. I forgot which one his was. We already. It was a quarterback one. No, he had the quarterback one about Naji. Not saying Mason or Haskins.
Yeah, that'll be a good topic for next week.
Nah, well, like I said, we'll put that on Monday, and then we'll also react to Haley's comments as well on Monday as well. We'll just put
That'll
it like
be good.
that.
Those will be good.
Yeah.
Brilla92. Why do you think we haven't interviewed with Martindale? He'd want too much control of the defense, perhaps? Moats still got to spin the block on me. I don't know what that one's for.
I gotta remember.
There was
man.
something with Cordarrelle 92. I remember last podcast, wasn't it?
Oh no, you know what it was?
He won something, right?
No. He was trying to say, did he win something?
Yeah,
because remember we never did the contest for the eyebrow, but he was the one who brought it up. I think in the call, maybe
Coochie Man
or something like that. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. But in terms of Wink Martindale, I'm not sure just yet why they haven't reached out to him. But a lot of the stuff that you brought up that we heard Garvin talk about in the interview as well, and then we've been talking about the lack of control. You know, a guy like Wink, he's done this. He is a DC. He's proven. It's hard to go somewhere else where you're not going to get that opportunity. Or, excuse me, you're going to be doing all the work, but this guy gets all the credit. I just, as a guy like Wink, who's already proven in that capacity, I don't think he'll be interested in something like that.
Anthony Sixto is the last one. We're at 40.
All right, let's get it off.
We do a lot less roaming, amoeba-type disguising than we have in the past. What's more important for executing that, athleticism or the mental aspect?
Actually, both. You can't run that amoeba-style defense that you saw New England run, that you saw teams flirt with running without having elite athleticism, because you're asking guys to still be dominant but not do it in their normal stances. D linemen standing up, typically D linemen coming out of 3-point stance. You got to be a lot more athletic to still generate the same type of push, get off, hand placement, pad level from a 2-point or standing up versus a 3-point stance. Then you talk about your inside linebackers. Usually their feet are parallel, square, looking down, top down. When you have them walking around that amoeba, it just changes your reads. It changes how fast stuff happens. So that's why I do feel like you have to have that athleticism, but mentally you also have to know the pros and cons of, what your assignment is on that particular play. And that doesn't even get to the checks that might happen when you start getting motions and empties and things like that. So I don't like it a ton. I like it on possession downs, like third downs, gotta have it situations. I like that stuff then, but only when needed. I only like it against your elite quarterbacks who I can't trick, because it make it all look the same. But if it's like regular guys out there, I'm like, man, make that guy execute. Don't give him a cheapie, because we're up here trying to get cute, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then last thing is Zach Nee says top 3 picks for QB1 next year for the Steelers.
We'll get to that.
We're coming up with that, not today, but next week or down the line. And then Nick Baby Yak, we appreciate your contribution as well. So
Mo's got to roll, or he's got to be late.
Yeah, I do got to roll, bro. So yeah, with that being said, don't forget the promo code Moats100 is still up until Sunday. All right, I got the shirt. It's been up in the chat. The Yes Indeed, that is available to you. So definitely check that out. But either way, we appreciate the support. And until next time, baby.
Peace.